Camera's rolling.
Baby, I'm too young to know any better, but I guess I'm just too old to care. I'm waiting on the morning light to clear the air. Now the sky is hung with regret, letting go that you pay flags. All the silence that keep me coming back. I'm the one that you hated. You know, the one you didn't want to believe. The one that you hated. Take a look at it now. I'm the mess you created. The one that you hated. Now the sky is hung with regret, letting go that you pay flags. All the silence that keep me coming back. I'm the one that you hated. You know, the one you didn't want to believe. The one that you hated. Take a look at it now. I'm the mess you.
And we are back. Got a double dose of dad talk coming in on this weekend. Guys, I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. We just figured we'd come on and hang out with you guys. Dwayne, I've been feeling a lot better here recently. Got a little bit more energy, been working out at the gym on top of, my vitamins and all that. But what the hell is this?
I was going to ask you, but I didn't want to. It's like, asking someone like how they got a zit. But what did you do there? Was that like a glass?
I don't know.
Did you?
A zit.
I don't know if you want to talk. Well, I'll talk about my experience, and then we can see where we go from there. But as an older gentleman, certain things, my body mass doesn't rejuvenate. Anyway, long story short, I got on testosterone.
Are you saying this,
shot.
Dwayne?
I'm not saying. Well, how about that? There we go. Let's bring that there. Visualization there. So
it happens to all of us. I don't want to hear any of the BS from the people watching. We've all had those issues. Anyway, go ahead.
Those moments, but yeah, I'm on testosterone replacement therapy. I get a shot or I shoot myself. Well, that didn't sound right. I give myself a shot. There we go. I'm trying to find the right way to say that without getting in trouble.
Facebook, community standards, medical injections prescribed by the doctor.
Prescribed, yes, I'm under doctor's care. Yeah. And that was one of the things that happened. I went through puberty again, essentially. I got zits everywhere. I was like, I'm a teenager again. I got this one nose zit one time. It looked like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And my wife, Brandy, she was in the medical field for years. And she has this weird obsession with like popping like pus things. Like she would get excited when the doctors would have her go in there to do whatever. So she just had a field day on my face and my back, and then hair. Oh my gosh. I don't know if it's part of being 50 or whatever, but my hair just ears, nose, butt, everywhere. I mean, I'm like a Sasquatch.
You got him on your butt too.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't feel so bad anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get zits everywhere, but your face, you generate more oils and stuff. So I got, she, I think it was like, last weekend, she puts her fingers in my hair and she goes, "Oh my God, change the oil in that." And I'm like, "Really? You're going to go there?" Okay.
Yeah.
But you're going to get zits and your face is going to be more oily. You need to get that, or Noxzema or whatever that old scrubs are.
Yeah.
From when you were a kid, those little pads or whatever you'd.
Oh yeah. OxyClean, or not OxyClean.
Yeah, OxyClean. Yeah, OxyClean.
No, it's not OxyClean. What are OxyPads?
OxyPads, that's it. Yeah.
OxyClean is the guy from the infomercial. Look, I'm messing up my commercials. Yeah, I mean, dude, we've said that we were going to talk about some stuff like that really quick before we get into that. You want to support the show? There's your link down there. I won't go through the whole thing. Guys, get over on the Substack. I got even more exciting stuff. As you can tell, my energy lifted up a little bit. I'm about to start another new film. It's kind of got an unexpected support. It's enough to at least get it started. You know what? I'll wait to announce it. But I'm going to start on a new project, and it's one I think this community will definitely appreciate. We've been needing to do it for a very long time. Yeah, that'd be number 10. That'd be number 10 that we've got coming in. But we've talked about it, and I think having these conversations, no, it's not family law related. No, it's not whatever, but testosterone in men. Okay. This came because of Dad Talk. I started realizing some of the times I get on the podcast and I was just struggling for my words. Dude, I'd get in the middle of a sentence and like, what the hell was I saying? And that's really, dude, brain fog. And I had never had that before. I wasn't quite working down there like I once was, you know what I mean? It didn't feel like anymore. And I was like, dude, just overall, it didn't feel good. And, Carnell, was the one that told me. He's like, Eric, you better go get that T checked. And I was like, dude, I don't think so. And I put it off for months, and I finally did. And my T was very, very low. And so now they have this pellet therapy that you can go and get like every 4 to 6 months. And I done mine about a month and a half ago. And I can tell you in that time, I'm feeling like a new man. Going to the gym, not so much work. My wife, when she sees me, she's like, because like, hey, baby.
Hey, how you doing?
Let me talk to you. If she hears the Al Green, she's enjoying it too, man. I'm enjoying it too. It feels good. And for us as men, man, after the age of 25, I think actually is the age that they're saying, but especially after 30, you guys need to take a check on that. Why is this important? Again, dude, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're low on that T, if you're not in the gym and taking care of these things, guys, that messes with this up here. And you think these issues that we talk about on Dad Talk is bad enough? Try doing it without a healthy mind up here and a healthy body. It just makes it 10 times worse. Makes your whole body, your mind, and everything feel like just, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here. But when you got that, it's kind of like your first line of defense, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you're depressed. You gain weight where you shouldn't. I mean, you gain weight because your metabolism slows down. There's with the replacement therapy, and actually Jimmy talked about it on the show the other week. How it's important, and the reason why men younger and younger are having these issues because of the soy and all the other stuff that's in our foods now.
All the crap in our foods,
all that stuff. And hey, he's the expert, not me, but there's some proof to it. My oldest son had some areas that he's only 22 now. But yeah, it messes with everything. And then when you're broke down like that, and then that's in a perfect world, the folks that are going through family issues and life issues, they are, I did this, I think last week. I think, Jimmy didn't know what that was. He's like, no, well, God.
Yeah,
Lord, I apologize.
Laugh at it.
I got my little gavel.
It's a hammer.
It's hammer time, baby. And then sleep, and then see me in 3 days. But
you go in there with a hammer, and then what Brandy's like, you can't touch this.
You can't touch this. Yeah, okay. It's not hammer time. So, but yeah, when you're when I was had a low T and I wasn't seeing a doctor about it and getting that replacement therapy, I mean, I felt old. I mean, I feel old anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I felt old. Your body, your mind, everything is just and then you feel like crap. In a perfect world, imagine going through stuff, life's issues and stuff. It tears you down. And I would actually recommend girls. I did not know this until recently. Women need testosterone at times, replacement for certain things.
Dude, so like my sister, I don't think she'd care if I talk about it. And even, all right, so when I went to go get my testosterone pellets, I give the whole story because Father X said, wait, there are testosterone pellets? That's a thing? Yes, it's a thing.
Not suppositories, just throwing it out there.
Not suppositories. It goes in your butt, but in your butt cheek, not in that part, dude. And it's like every 4 to 6 months, whereas you get the shots, you'll peak and then it'll start coming down unless you're like Dwayne. I think you take them every 3 days.
3 days. Yep, every 3 days.
Every 3 days. But the pellets are just like time release, so it gives you a steady stream. So that you're getting it, and then you don't have to do the needles every day, which they don't really bother me anyway. Yeah. But when I very first went to go get it checked, I pull up to the front of this office, and it was an OBGYN. It
You're
was
like,
a breast. It was a breast and vagina center. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, okay, why am I here? But they started doing men's hormones and stuff too. So I got to talk to a lot of other men who was telling me about it. It was like best thing that ever happened to me, dude.
It is the best thing. There's a
Oh,
small, I mean, the other side of it, I mean, there is a small risk if you've been on it for a number of years of certain kinds of cancer, but minimal, and then studies or whatever. I mean, just trying
There's
to be
risk
full
of cancer
disclosure.
from low T. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you have other, but yeah, again, go every 3 to 6 months. Do the P test if you're under a certain age for the cancer. I think it's prostate cancer is the one that is a possibility, but you take a P
And they
test.
check that without the fingernail.
Oh, your fingernail?
I said they can check your prostate without doing the fingernail.
Oh yeah, you pee. Yeah.
Ah, dude, I wish I'd have known that a long time ago.
Well, I was asking my doctor when he threw his pants next to mine when they were doing the thing, and okay, we're good.
Did you get the hammer?
Testosterone. No, it was one of the Thankfully, I've the P1's the only one I've had to worry about, so I'm very thankful for that one. And if I did another one, I don't remember. I blocked it out of my memory. But yeah, every 6 months you go and take the P test, and yeah, again, I would say men and women, but guys, you need the last place we want to go is the doctor's office. I get it, but you've got to go get various checkups. Hell, who was I? Actually, I was talking to Lou Ferrigno's brother when I met him about the CPAP machines.
Really?
And yeah, well, he said he couldn't sleep the night before because I guess his wife or however that worked out uses a CPAP and machine, which is a breathing machine for those who don't know, to give you continuous air. And they when he was on for this trip, he obviously wasn't there or whatever wasn't there, and he couldn't sleep because he was used to that noise. And we actually sat there and had like a 5-minute conversation about CPAP machines.
Is there anybody that's watching this that is on a CPAP machine? I went to, but it seemed like my butt got more air than my lungs. I wake up in the next morning, dude, my stomach.
Well, that morning, yeah,
Yeah.
The morning
It's like,
hello,
I didn't know
yeah.
my ass could talk like that.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say, guys and girls, if you're feeling tired, your eyes are burning, you have no energy, 2, 3 in the afternoon, you're like just comatose, and high blood pressure and all that, go get yourself checked out for CPAP therapy. And basically, if you snore at night, if you're on the heavier side, it can affect people that are thin. I mean, but people that are heavier have more of that issue. Go get that done because just a personal experience here. I've been on it for about 2 years now, and again, yeah, you look like a dork, you look like a dumb Darth Vader. It is what it is. But when I took myself off of it for I think a month ago, I felt like crap. Within a week, I was feeling normal again of being back on. It is something that you need to have and need to use. I know you look goofy, whatever. I can tell you all the different ones to try out, at least from my personal experience, the best ones from personal experience. But you should probably make this all about health. Guys and girls need to go out there and get checked out. See how about we were just old and not wearing any stupid CPAP to bed. Yeah.
Crap.
Well, the thing is, your risk of stroke, heart attack, and a number of other issues goes up significantly, especially the older that you get. I mean, again, they've had research on that.
Yeah.
This prevents it.
Well,
And your quality of
personally, I
life.
couldn't take it, dude. Like the effects were really hard on me, but at the same time, I can tell the downside of not having it because I
Mhm.
just feel tired. Dude, it takes me
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours to wake up. And I guess that was another thing that was kind of, I think on TRT, it can increase your sleep apnea. And so
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's what's happened to me. I originally, when we started doing the show on a daily basis, I wanted to do it at 10 in the morning. That way I had the rest of the day to work on some of this other stuff. That was another thing that held me back from the show. Is like, dude, I got to sleep. Like no matter how much I sleep, I feel like I'm not rested right now. I've got an age though. If I stay in the bed for too long, it makes me even more tired.
Yeah, that'll happen. But with CPAP therapy, I mean, that's why you would be feeling tired, or you are feeling tired. CPAPs can be lifesaver, and they are. And then Lauren had stopped breathing for 10 seconds. I'm a nerd, So when I got my machine, I use the Esperonics or something Tronic, whatever it is, or ResMed Plantronics, whatever it is. But I was able to hack into it, and you can get an application called Oscar. It's free. Get an SD card, and you can actually look at by the second what's happening throughout the night. If you have occurrences of sleep apnea, if you're not breathing, if you're snoring, if it comes loose, there's too much air, and then you can regulate it and get to the one that fits you best. Because the one you get directly from the manufacturer that the doctor sets up, that usually is not the best settings usually. So you kind of I'm a geek, so I hacked in and did all my stuff with it, which is, and again, it's not hacking, it's easy to do. But with that, I was able to change the settings on it and get it to where, it works out well. You have ramp up features. There's a lot of stuff in that technology that is a huge benefit. And I know you look like a dork, but
yeah,
it's better than having a stroke or heart attack.
And let's be honest, dude, how many of the guys that are going through these issues, when they go to sleep, it's their time to rest. That's when they start thinking on it the hardest. We've probably all been there. Dude, I hate insomnia. I can have things that I didn't think about all day, and it was things I needed to think about during the day, that when I go to sleep, that's when I'm like, oh crap, I didn't do this. How am I going to do this tomorrow? How am I going to do this? And it just keeps you from going to sleep. And then what little bit of sleep that you do get is apnea.
Yeah, you have apnea left and right.
We are not doctors here. We are not giving medical advice. We're just two dorks that are talking amongst each other, talking about CPAPs, TRT, farting, dry mouth, irritable bowel syndrome, constipation. Yeah. So don't listen to anything we're saying. Make sure to go consult with your doctor. I'm just getting
get legal ease out of the way. Yeah, I mean, all the feeling tired all the time, and again, with people that are going through their struggles, that just adds to it. And one of the things, and Jimmy talked about this also, is you have to get your mind, body, and spirit right so you can take on the day and be prepared and be able to fight and do what you have to do. I know people that don't like CPAPs for various reasons. There's actually some other alternatives as far as the mask piece of it. That I had the same issue. The full face mask, hated it. I ended up just telling everybody I got the small short nasal one that just goes in your nose, and that's it. That is the one that works best for me, and night and day.
So there was another alternative that I tried at one point in time, and I just couldn't do it. I don't do this anymore, but I used to. Probably about 15 years ago, I had a problem with grinding my teeth in my sleep.
Oh yeah, yep.
So I think I was going through that and the apnea, and they make this mouthpiece that you can have, and it's got a hole cut out. It makes the oxygen go straight to your throat, and it's supposed to be an alternative to the CPAP. I couldn't do that either. I don't know which one was more uncomfortable.
Yeah, having that mouth guard. I've been in martial arts for decades, and it had something similar for that. But it holds your mouth open so it doesn't close, which is how the apnea starts, or part of how it starts. And then those are difficult. But I just recommend everybody, if you're going to do it, to get like the nasal. I think it's called the nasal pillow, and that's the one that seems to work best. It's the least restrictive on your face, and you can sleep all night with it. And the one on Amazon is like $20, so it's pretty cheap. The nose part of it, the machine, I think, it can get expensive, but HSAs cover it, and there's all different programs there. But highly recommend CPAP machines. Those are godsends, best thing in the world. That, get your testosterone checked, getting that mind, body, and spirit where it needs to be.
Healing. Hey. But listen, people say, we're talking, where are some of the solutions? Here are some of your solutions right here. It's not the ultimate solution, but the more that you can take care of these little things, the more we can go after these big things, right? Father X said, when you have insomnia, do you guys have notepads and pen near the bed to write down your thoughts, and then you can set it aside and go to sleep? No. I'd say my greatest, I know a lot of people like taking sleep medicine. I can't stand it. Because if I do it, I wake up the next day even more tired, like NyQuil. Just keep that crap away from me. I'll feel like I got a hangover the whole next day. My thing to put me to sleep is TV. My wife hates it. So if she sees the TV come on, put it on a timer. She knows I'll fall asleep while watching it. but
Right.
that is something that kind of takes my attention off of my head, right? If I'm just laying there and it's nothing but dark and everything, I'm like, okay, what are you going to do on Dad Talk tomorrow? How are you going to pull this off? You know, what's
Right.
going on here? What are you going to have for supper in the morning or tomorrow afternoon? And so when I can watch that TV, and I usually try to get something that I'm not interested in. That way I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, this sucks, dude. I'm going to sleep, you know? But that's one of my ways I do it. I don't know about writing it down because I'm already going through it in my head. But does that work for you, Father X? What are some of your things for insomnia?
Well, I mean, we actually go to sleep with the TV on. We throw it on whatever show we're going to watch. I think right now we're into How It's Made on Discovery Channel.
I love How It's Made.
Yeah.
You were a Mythbusters fan, weren't you?
I was. Yeah. I enjoyed the data, the breaking it down and doing all the science stuff. Love that stuff. That's my wheelhouse. But we TV on. Honestly, once I lay down, well, I mean, now that I've got my mind, body, and spirit where it needs to be, I'm able to go to sleep with no issues. But yeah, before I was having those issues, work or this stuff or anything else, I'd have my phone there, throw it in my notes section, and then have it ready to go for tomorrow. But my insomnia was so bad, I just wouldn't sleep. But when I was a kid, the way I used to go to sleep is I'd listen to Metallica. So that was my
oh shit, dude! I'd be trying to lift weights in my sleep. Darkness, imprison me.
That's how I would go to bed as a younger child. Was Metallica. I usually only used to get like 3-4 hours sleep a night. That was my normal thing. Now that I'm getting older, my favorite thing in the world is a nap. It's kind of crazy. The things that you love as an adult, you hated as a kid, like naps and spankings. Now that you're older,
naps and spankings.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't heard that joke?
No, I hadn't heard that one.
Oh,
when
you were
does it
work? Happy camper. I'm gonna get a talking to tonight.
Oh, that was another thing that let me know something was going on with my body. I have never, ever, ever been a napper. And like the last 6 months before I got, when I got on the TRT, it was just, I'd be sitting there trying my best, even, working here at Dad Talk at the desk, man, my head just nodding. And I got a couch over here. I go lay down on it. I would lose 4 or 5 hours and then wake up and still be tired.
No, I remember sometimes
I stayed tired nonstop, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, it was getting so bad with the CPAP, the testosterone stuff. My workspace, I work from home, is literally, I'm looking at it right now. And I control groups all over the world I'm a scrum master in the real world. But there would be times I would see a 20-30 minute window. I would set my alarm, go on the floor right behind me and catch a nap. That's what I would end up doing. Or if I'm coding at 2 a.m, I would just kind of crater and my hands be on the keyboard when I woke back up. It was, weird stuff.
Sabrina said, is this going X-rated? Dwayne, how do you feel about toys in bed?
Toys in bed, like Transformers?
Yeah, that was where the joke was going. I was going to make it sound inappropriate and ask about your figures. Anyway, you just busted that one.
Yeah, I throw the Megatron helmet on and I'm going to conquer, Cybertron and,
Don't make me angry.
Don't make me angry. Oh,
don't make me horny.
Don't
make me when I'm horny. Anyway, all right, General Miller. He said, my wife and I both need TV to go to sleep. When I go to bed, I'm always thinking of stuff that I need to get done or stuff I'm worried about. Dude, it's the same for me. The worst, guys. The worst for me is when I take the trips out of town. The next day when I know I got to go get on the airplane and, and there's some people that say they sleep on the plane. My anxiety just gets 10 times worse. So I will stay up that whole night, no matter how much I'm trying to sleep. And then I get to the airport, finally get on the plane thinking I'm going to sleep. And then the whole time I'm up in the air, I'm like, plane's going to crash and I'm not going to be able to finish my project. Dude, that's how much passion I got behind the projects, dude. And your mind can seriously F with you.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. And even how many of you guys struggle with anxiety? That has been one of the hardest battles for me in this life. I don't have them often anymore. I went through an onset of it pretty bad there a couple of months ago when we was on the show, and I think I documented that really well. Panic attack. And those are one of the scariest things you can ever face in your life, dude, is when that panic attack starts.
Paralyzing.
You feel like somebody's standing on your chest, and all your mind keeps telling you is you're dying, you're having a heart attack. And then you start feeling those chest pains. You know, it's like it starts bringing it on. You go into fight or flight mode. And no matter how much you tell yourself, breathe, it's going to be okay. You're not dying. It's a trick of the mind. The panic attack just makes it that much worse. And that comes from worrying about things that we cannot control. And I think, you know, I wonder how many people in the family law space are just going through that anxiety and those panic attacks, you know, because it's one of those things like you're going through this system hoping that you're going to get some type of justice. And no matter what you do, it seems like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and you just stay stuck in that panic, that anxiety. I got to do something. I got to do something. And people start losing sleep. They start losing weight. They start losing their mind. And then you get some of the emotions and actions that we tend to see from time to time.
Yeah, totally rational people would end up doing irrational things because they've been broke down in all those different ways. And the panic, and, you know, when you go into the fight or flight mode and you're in that mode 24/7. I mean, I don't know about other people, but when I went through my divorce, I got about 2 hours sleep at night. And then it was bad sleep. It was light sleep. I mean, I was just going, I'd be at Walmart at 2 a.m. grocery shopping. Of course, I was working 2 jobs at the same time to offset costs and all that stuff. But I was always burning, and, you know, you just can't do that forever. Your body breaks down.
I don't know how the body did it, man. After I went through the divorce, you know, single dad, and then broke up with the baby's mom, you know, 2 kids full time in the house. I was working 14 to 16-hour days with a 2-hour commute between going to and from work. And, you know, finally get settled in around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And I wanted to spend some time with the kids. So it just seemed like I'm not just a guy that works all the time. And so if you spend an hour or 2 with them, you're getting in bed at 10 or 11 and waking up at 1:30 in the morning. Dude, I love the weekends, because the weekends, like, I am sleeping until I can't sleep no more. That was the time that I got to recharge my batteries. I have, even in my tired state, how many of you have been through this? You have one of those nights, whether it's insomnia or you had to get up really early, then you go to work and you're just sitting there dragging. You're like, man, as soon as I get home, I'm going to bed early tonight. Like, I got to get over this. I got to get some sleep. Man, I just want to get home so I can get some sleep. Get home, you know, midnight rolls around the next night. Like, shit, I can't sleep.
Right.
You go and do it again. And yeah, dude, I know I can't be the only one.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Sure. Yeah. Folks are talking about that there. Yeah. You're just going and burning and burning, trying to just kind of stay on top of stuff. And then, the next night comes, you're still wired, because there's all that anxiety inside you trying to, you know, work itself out. And that's, you know, again, well, Jimmy talked about that. That's why you go to the gym. That's why you get the mind, body, spirit all connected, and, you know, moving forward. That's how you get rid of a lot of that. I mean, well, you just came back from a workout. I'm sure you probably had some anxiety, stress, whatever. You went in there, you pound the weights for a half hour or so.
Nah, dude. Like,
no.
So, all right, I give you an example. When we was out of town shooting the documentaries the first week, although I'm talking about a stressful story, I went in there happy, rested, healthy. And then after a week of just working nonstop, talking about this loss of a child, we go into week 2. And by that time, I think it was about day 8 or day 9, it hit. I'm missing home. I'm missing my family. We're in a very dark situation. And when I was in Colorado, I woke up every morning, started my day off going to the gym and eating on my diet. And I mean, it helped me. The next week, we didn't have a gym nearby. And because of the work that we was doing, I couldn't stick on the diet. It was either not eat at all or just wait until 7 or 8 o'clock tonight to get some calories in. And when you're working all day long, you have to have something. So I broke down when there was pizza or something, and I did it. And I went about 2 or 3 day stretch of not doing that. And dude, my head, the stress and everything, I felt like it was about to just pop. And it was just one of those moments. It was like I was kind of on the brink of I just can't do it anymore. And I was like, let's go to the gym. And then when we got there, I'm still can't get it out of my own head. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I started pumping them curls. And then that adrenaline started flowing. Next thing I know, dude, about an hour later, I was like, oh, that's no big deal. I was like, let's get back to go to work. And that adrenaline, you know, just having something to kind of distract you. I couldn't think about those thoughts, man. I was thinking like, dude, this sucks. You know what I mean? But it felt good at the same time.
Oh yeah, you feel.
We all need distractions, healthy distractions. Right. That was a healthy distraction.
Well, we were talking earlier. That's why, you know, telling people go out there, donate their time, get involved in other, you know, organizations, pets, horses, retirement homes. I mean, there's no shortage of, you know, people that need help or, you know, people's resources or in time. Get involved with those things to, I don't want to say distract you, but give you that, you know, purpose, get your mind distracted, get you on a positive path, and, you know, do those things.
You just talked about another healthy distraction that about something I don't think gets enough credit. And if you had asked me this 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't be able to relate to a lot of these guys. But one of the most special things that will know when you are stressed out, that wants to relieve you of that stress, no matter how bad it is, if you got a dog. There's something about a dog, dude. Like my dog knows when I'm in that. And he'll come over there when I'm not wanting to look at anybody or do anything. And he is going to hit my hand, like, give it to me. That's what it feels like sometimes. Like, pet me, get rid of it.
Pet me.
And if I sit there and just pet on him for like 5 minutes, I can feel that stuff melt away. And, you know, I was never much of a dog person, even though I had one all the time growing up. They always lived outside. And then when I went through the divorce, I got a pit bull. He is a puppy. I mean, anybody says they're dangerous, I believe it's all in how they were raised. But he is a puppy, and I had him kind of as the guard dog for my family. And that me and him, dude, he's like one of my kids. He has became like one of my kids, and he knows when I'm upset. I'm telling you, like he won't bother me at any other point in time, but when I'm upset, he'll come up under me like, you're going to pay attention to me right now.
Calm down.
So now I understand these people that have these service dogs.
Right.
I never really understood that first. I do now. I do, man. They're animals are such beautiful creatures, especially dogs, dude. If we could just be more like dogs, you know? I wonder what would happen if dogs had social media and understood it. Do you think they would still sniff each other's butts and get along with everybody?
Apparently when they sniff each other's butts, they get more information than most people. I was going to rip on a news organization, but you know what? We have listeners from all different areas, so I will stop that joke early. But dogs. I wonder. That's one thing. About dogs specifically is that no matter what happens, they care, they love you, they're there for you. They wait all day for you to come home, and and people have special bonds with their pets. At times it's a distraction, but it's one of those things where, you know, people going through this stuff day in and day out, they've got to have outlets for that. They can't keep it bottled up. They can't, because it'll destroy you from the inside. You've got to find ways to channel that and make it positive.
Well, I mean, and so dogs are like having kids. They need you to survive. You got to take care of them. They are a responsibility. So it's very similar to that. I know people that couldn't have kids. Their dog is their everything.
Fur babies. Yep.
Yeah. And dude, the house might be empty and you might be having a hard time after going through some of these issues. But if you got one of those, you're not alone, dude. And I'm going to tell you, for the MGTOW guys, you can at least have a dog. You don't have to have a government contract or a marriage. That you can have some companionship without having to go and get that. I don't know, man. Special creatures, like I said, I just don't think gets enough credit. But I do want to touch on this. General Miller there on YouTube said, anyone else have the fear that everything is going good and afraid something will happen that will take everything away? Of course, especially if you've been through it before. I would say we end up getting into situations that we never should have got into in the first place. We give the wrong people, we make the mistakes, and then after that happens, we start thinking that everything is going to be that way, right? I'm never getting married again. I'm not doing that. you might end up finding somebody that could be good for you. And because of those walls, you could try to push them away. Miller, dude, it took me forever to break down my walls and get with my wife, dude, that I'm with now, because everything was going perfect. And anytime something was going good, I'm like, this shit has crazy written all over it. It's about to go south. Like, stay away, demon, stay away. And yeah, dude, I know what sometimes it's because if you felt hurt, you're afraid of feeling that hurt again. And so if things start seeming like, for once I'm happy, I'm supposed to be depressed, I'm supposed to be sad because my life is shit. But right now, ironically, I'm happy. So when is it coming back? And we're just waiting for those moments to go back in that, because we are so used to that. Dude, break those chains off your life, General. Come on, dude. General. Your name is General. Be a general. Be the general of your life and break those chains and say, nah, dude, it's okay for me to be happy. You know what? There is going to be bad times that are going to come after that. We recognize that. In order to love, you have to experience pain, dude. That's just life. Yeah. Okay. But don't let the pain from the future that you haven't even experienced yet take away from the happiness that you can have now.
Yeah. I mean, and then, you know, don't transfer what you went through with your ex-spouse to your new spouse or significant other. I mean, that's a thing that we all fall into. I mean, it's part of our human nature. But yeah, just because, and I don't want to say, you know, don't go in there blind. I mean, go in there cautious, but, you know, it takes time, but don't be afraid to open yourself up again, because you find the right person. It can be a wonderful thing. I mean, you would have talked to, you know, Dwayne Ward, 15 years ago. I would have said, I am never getting married. I don't want to be around women at all, et cetera, et cetera. But then over time, I met this wonderful lady, and she had been through a lot of bad stuff on her end, and we connected. Actually, a lot of our pain connected. What she had went through and what I had went through. That's actually how we, started really talking. In our first night, I think we talked all night until the next morning, and then it was because I could finish her sentences, she could finish mine, because she'd been through different, and I would argue worse than what I had went through with my significant other at the time. But that's how we connected, and then we built our relationship from there. It can happen. You want to be smart about it, but it can happen. And life is a hell of a lot better when you've got a partner in crime with you, building that empire with you. There's no better feeling in the world.
As Sabrina said, your life is more than the crap surrounding being a dad. You're allowed to live life and be happy. You are. Now, if you become happy, don't think your ex is going to be happy for you. A lot of times they'll try to take that happiness away from you. That's why a lot of you might get alienated or something if you try to move on and it's not with them. I can remember Dwayne, like if I went and ate at McDonald's or something, like, how dare you? Your child doesn't have any food and you're eating McDonald's. It's like, well, they should. I've paid money. Right. What are you spending the money on? But it's like anything you do in life, you're going to get criticism. That's why you got to block some of that crap out, man. Go out there and do things that make you happy. When you showed the boy crisis, one of the most important chapters in the boy crisis that you need to be reading on. And I told Warren, I want to go much further into this because I caught myself in the middle of it. The purpose void.
Purpose void.
Dude, when we get older and we have families, we start working at jobs. Maybe when we were kids, especially even as boys, as boys, we had goals. We had dreams. Yeah. We dreamed big when we were kids. I'm going to be, I'm going to be the best that I can be. I've got my sights set on this, and this is what I'm going to accomplish. Then we get a little bit older. Maybe we get a family, we get some responsibilities, and then it becomes, I got to go work. I got to go do my 40 hours so I can get my paycheck and get my insurance so I can have some stability. Mm-hmm. In the middle of that, we're going to face challenges like everybody else does. And we forget about those dreams, those things that made us happy, that made us tick, that purpose that we have for our own lives. Now our purpose is to be a 40-hour a week, if not more, working two jobs, worker that is just making this paycheck, and he has forgot who he wants to be.
As men, we have to, guys and girls, you have to figure out, who you are. You're not just a paycheck. You're not just a this. Your dreams, your goals, that's who you really are. And there's other different ways, you obviously you have to have a job in order to pay for your house or apartment or whatever, but it's not just who you are. You need to dream big and go for those goals. Think back to when you were younger and you wanted to do something, whatever that is, or even if you didn't, and now figure out a goal, a dream, and start picking away at it and do it.
Yeah,
that most people, if your life has purpose, again, realizing your dreams is purpose, you're going to be excited. You're going to, get out of bed the next day. Hey, I've got this. And again, everyone has issues in their life. You have alienation, you got family issues, you've got financial issues, all these different things. You got to figure a way to deal with that positively, but then, work on your dreams and keep pushing all that forward. That's how you're going to get there and be happy. I mean, I started to talk about, before we jumped off earlier, but, my growing up years and a lot of my adult years were not the happiest. More than happy to go into some of the details, but I choose to be happy, move forward and realize dreams and make change and look at things bigger than myself and go for those things. That's what really gives my life a lot of purpose.
If you're constantly looking in the rearview mirror, you can't see what's ahead. And that's the thing, dude. You can get so stuck to that trauma, thinking about that trauma, that you're not able to sleep, you're not able to function, and you're not able to dream anymore. And that's what I want to see more of these guys find their purpose. I'm going to tell you, dude, like starting Dad Talk was a very scary thing for me. Mm-hmm. I had done, 10 years of consistent working for somebody else. This is my schedule. This is my paycheck. This is this to mm-hmm. I'm about to go try something. Don't know if I'm going to make any money or anything out of it, but it fulfills me as a person because it's something I want to go after. And I've got to go away from my security blanket. That mm-hmm. purpose that I was thinking it was me. I was miserable in that purpose right. because I wasn't going after. I want to help people. I've always wanted to help people. I want to say, look, dude, I mean, my life could end later on today or tomorrow. If it did, I can say, dude, I did everything I could to inspire other people. Life well served. I lived, I loved, I laughed. And yeah. I gave it hell. But back then, I don't know that I would have done that so much. So I had to go after that, and it was scary. The thing that happened, the dominoes seemed to fall the way they were supposed to let me know you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because right after that, COVID hit. COVID sucked for most people. COVID was amazing for Dad Talk because I had just lost my job due to no fault of my own. They just shut the company down. So I got my unemployment. And so I'm like, I've got free time to go and try to build this to see if I can even do it or not, and then the traveling that we were doing. Oh my God, dude, there is no way we would have been able to pull that off now. There is no way on God's green earth, dude. I was flying all over the country for $20 and $30, where now that same ticket can be anywhere from $400 to $600. I mean, right. Atlanta is one of the biggest airports in the world. That's where I have to go. There was days I went in there and it was a ghost town. Never seen anything like it. You're not going to see that in Atlanta now. But it was one of those, I have to look back on it. And was that something in the universe saying, I'm trying to lay down the opportunity for you to do this? I couldn't have done that any other time in that 10 years. But for some reason, it's like it cleared the schedule to say, Eric, if you go after it, we'll provide a way. And I did. And, guys, sometimes you're just going to have to step out on a leap of faith. That doesn't mean quitting your job. If you got financial security, I mean, I've met the people. It's like, I'm going to go make a podcast or I'm going to go do something and I'm just going to quit my job. And I'm hoping I'm going to get financially carried, by doing something about family law. What are you doing? You are about to mess up Aaron. You have no idea what you are getting yourself into. Build your dreams while you're keeping your security. I'm not saying you got to stay over in that security, but once you've got it built to where you say, I think I got this thing to where it's not going to be so stressful. Because if you have passions and you're worried about how you're going to keep the lights on, you start forgetting about that passion and you start putting more focus on the bills, and it starts messing with your creativity. It starts messing with everything. Do everything safely. Yeah. Safely. to where you can take care of yourself, where you can manage yourself. But for goodness sakes, guys, ladies, boys, girls, go after your freaking dreams.
I'd be curious.
Why are you not going after it?
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what people's dreams are. I mean, throw them in the chat here.
Yes.
You know, things that you would like to do or accomplish that, you know, yeah, when your time comes, when that, you know, you got the beginning date, you got a dash and an end date. We all do. What do you want on that end date you to be known for? What, you know, what is that?
I remember in the beginning, dude, like my ex would show up in the reviews like, ha ha, look at this dad talk stuff. You're ridiculous. What are you doing? You know, this is a mockery. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's doing anything. And then you get 3.5 years later. Oh my God, you're talking to 500,000 people. Look at what you're doing. You know, like trying to put me down for the other one.
Right.
It's like, dude, I didn't let any of the trash get into me, dude. Laser focused, got in there and do it. And if you guys do that, it will make you love yourself a little bit more. You feel proud because you work towards that which you are wanting to work towards. And I think it goes into what Mr. Fitzpatrick is telling me here. Is my buddy, and his name is Buddy. He said, I had to learn to love myself first. Then after divorce, appreciate the unconditional love from people that I never felt. Life is better now. Yes, that's the cliche thing. But it is so true, dude. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. In any of these relationships where you felt like you didn't value yourself, even now, if you don't value yourself, you're never going to be able to value anybody else. You're using everybody else to validate you. And then when you don't have their validation or you don't have somebody else around, you are going to be a miserable human being. You are living a miserable existence. First step into taking care of yourself, dude. If your house starts breaking down and you don't do the maintenance, you ain't going to be as proud about your house. If your car starts breaking down and you don't take care of it, your ass is going to be stuck at home. But our bodies, our minds, our dreams, our goals, our families, we put on the back burner so much because I got to go work towards this. You got to learn to love yourself enough to say, it is okay for me to do this. Love yourself enough to say, like, look, if you don't put any positivity into my life, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Start putting the roadblocks into some of this, dude, and watch what you are allowing into your life. But love yourself, dude. I went in a relationship for like 15 years, Dwayne, not being told I did anything good, that I looked good, feeling appreciated or anything. And I lived on the moments where I would get compliments from other people because that was the only time that I felt I was good enough. Now, after I go through this, and I'm even worse in my self-confidence and stuff, I started losing a little weight. I went and got me some nicer clothes. I got me some decent cologne. And weird, dude. I started taking care of myself and loving myself. And I've learned how to love. I realized just how unhappy I was with myself. And as much as my exes put me through some bullcrap, it was still, there was a part of me that was there because if I didn't love myself, how could I love them? You know what I mean? I realized just how unbalanced my life was. And then once I found that guy, I love that guy. Then people would say it's ego. It's all this other thing. It's like, no. I know who I am. And if I put my mind towards it, I'll accomplish it. That's going to be ego to you because your ass isn't going to get off the couch and do what I do.
Yep.
Right? Like if I set my mind to it, I will do it. And I'm going to love myself enough to actually go after that, which makes me happy and fulfill myself. And you guys can do that too. So thank you for that, Tom. Don't ever stop loving yourself. Listen, we are all getting older, broken down. Dwayne's talking about trying to get up out of the bed. We probably fart more. We probably have to do it before we pee. It actually helps it start flowing. So the body is going to break down a little bit, but it's okay. That is this thing called life. We're all going through that process. Learn to love and take care of that person. And then when you find somebody else that loves and takes care of themselves, and then you two can do it together, oh, dude, there's nothing stronger than that. That's how you make a nuclear family.
Exactly. Actually, I'm seeing some dreams over here.
Oh, let's see them.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, take a look through there, pull one in, and we can look at them.
How many people want to go and do marches with this movement? And you know why it hasn't ever worked? That was Martin Luther King's dream. He had a dream. Where's your new dream? His stuck out different. He was one of the pioneers. He stood out in front of everybody else. What are you guys going to do that's different, that is going to capture people's attention? I'm just wondering, because it can be done. We live in a different generation now.
Right.
We got a whole different way of doing things. But so many people will follow that person that did have a dream because they don't have dreams of their own. We have some weak-minded individuals, and some of you might be going through that and don't even realize it. I was a very weak, blue-pilled, shallow. I can't even say it, Dwayne. I mean, I was a flub, dude. I look back at it now. I'm glad for that period of being that flub because it made me who I am today.
Right.
So the stuff I'm saying now got me here because there was moments in time I didn't want to. I wanted to give up.
Yeah, it happens to everybody. But again, you picked yourself up, said, "Hey, these are my dreams. This is what I want to do," and you set a plan in place and go, and you're going for it. When you're talking about rallies, oddly enough, Brandy came home for a bit for her next thing, and we were talking about fundraising. She does a lot of fundraising stuff and has done stuff like that through actually most of her career, but gave me a bunch of ideas to do fundraising things that are low cost, free, that's and local type things like crawfish crawls and car shows and stuff like that. They're small, easy, and you can actually get the word out and raise awareness, raise funds for different things. But that's when as far as dreams, if someone says, "Hey, I would love to do this," and then get those tools and start working on building whatever that dream is, and start small and start getting bigger.
Well, dude, if it doesn't happen right away, it means you got to try harder. You don't give up.
Yeah.
It means you got to stay consistent. Remember that conversation about the gym, Dwayne, we was having before we got on here?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding. Dude, you just got to stay in there. If it doesn't happen right away, it means you need to put a little bit more time in it, and you're still in the middle of the process. If you give up, it's never going to happen. I love you guys enough to say that. Do it. I wish I would have done it. Man, I wasted a lot of years of my life thinking the other way. Man,
Right.
If I started doing this a long time ago, there's no telling where we would be right now. But I wasn't ready for that. I had to go through the crap, same as you. The guys of us 10 years ago wouldn't know what we know now. They hadn't been through the fire.
Exactly. And that was, it wasn't, I guess, a dream. I never thought I'd end up being the pissed off parent. But, when I went through my situation, I walked out going, I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through. There was no information out there, or it wasn't collected. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I started building. Again, I'm a tech guy. So yeah, it kind of appealed to me, but everybody has, gifts, talents, and all that. And it's figuring out what that is and how you can realize that dream. And it doesn't even necessarily need to be in the equal shared parenting community. It could be if you want to be an equestrian, go ride horses, or if you wanted to learn how to do shortwave radio, whatever that is.
I didn't have no training to podcast.
Yeah.
I thought about going through journalism school and broadcasting school, but I've met the people that's been through it, and they don't know what I know. I put myself through the fire. You know what I mean? It's like I found out the hard way what works and what doesn't work, and then have somebody sit there and say that. And that's part of the process. It's actually fun because you see the growth. Okay, my mouth is watering now. I'm old. I'm having to take my heartburn medicine.
I'm going to start pulling up some of these dreams here and
absolutely, dude.
All right. See, General Miller, my dream has always been to cover video games for a living.
And I want that. I want that on that. Dude, I love that. One of my favorite documentaries of all time. I think we talked about it not long ago, The King of Kong.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I've watched most of it, but yeah, it was the whole Kong conspiracy and the guy that won it, and what happened with all that stuff.
In a brief synopsis, there was this company. You think we're nerds? Their whole existence was to show you who had the highest score on what video game, and they had been doing it since like the early 80s. And this guy set the world's record for Donkey Kong years ago. Donkey Kong is one of the hardest games on planet Earth. Wouldn't seem that way. Think about it. How easy is it to beat something on the PlayStation or Xbox nowadays versus that old Nintendo Entertainment System? Dude, There was no continues. And hell, you might
Yep.
get halfway through a game and the shit starts flashing at you, and then you have to start over again. Anyway, around, I think after the 2000s, there was a guy out of the middle of nowhere that broke the record. But because he videotaped it, they wouldn't accept it. So he had to go in person, set the record. And once he set the record, the guy that held the record from the 80s that denied his score sends in a videotape saying, I beat his record. And they took his, but they wouldn't take the other guy's videotape. So there's this showdown of these guys between Donkey Kong. It was really cool. I love video games.
Oh, yeah.
I
remember playing Donkey Kong on the arcade machine. I've got a Raspberry Pi that I'll play it on occasionally. But yeah, they have those documentaries out there. Dragon's Lair was, when that game came out, just blew my mind because, again, the whole the animation piece of it. You don't remember Dragon's Lair?
I remember
the Princess.
I remember Space Ace and Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, that's it. Dragon's Lair. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Dragon's Lair. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were hard games, but they were some of the coolest. They even look cool now.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's fun stuff there. But yeah, covering video games. What's general? What's stopping you from doing it?
I will tell you this. Who was that again?
General Miller.
General, dude, covering the video game way easier than what we've got here because you can just kind of patch some of the video games and the clips over, and then do a voiceover over the top of it. Find a game that you're really good at that has a following, and just start talking about it. Start off with one game at a time. There's nothing holding you back but yourself right now, dude. And that is awesome. I'm telling you, one of the reasons that I say I want Dad Talk to be over with is so I can work on other things. If I could get over this, that's something I would like to do. Dude, I think when me, you, and Jimmy got up last week before we started the show, that's what I was doing. And I haven't done it in a while, but I was playing my Castlevania, dude. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It was one of those. I got to get crap off my mind. I'm about to turn into Alucard and go do it. I know that game like the back of my hand, dude. Have you ever beat that game?
No. Oh no. Yeah,
that had the best plot twist of a video game I've ever seen. And it didn't play like any of the other Castlevanias. What you know about Castlevania, wipe it out of your mind. It was an RPG. You leveled up. You had to equip everything that you did. And there's 4 endings to that game. And I didn't know that originally. I beat the game originally and thought it was done and over with, but I just kept playing it because I was so hooked on it. You got to go find out the guy that you kill at the end is a Belmont that has a curse on him. And so if you get the right equipment, you break this thing that's holding that curse over him. And then you find out he was put on a spell by Count Dracula. And then the whole castle that you just beat turns upside down and starts all over again with enemies that are 10 times harder. And then so there's 4 different endings to the game. So you can beat it and think you're done. And if you don't know that castle turns over, you're never going to see Dracula. And you have to complete the whole map before it unlocks Dracula for you. And it's neat, dude. It's neat. I would love to blog about that game. I guess I just kind of did. Anyway, see, this is what happens when you get me on video games, General.
Well, for the General, I'm thinking of the car insurance guy, but for the General, what's stopping you from doing that? What
go to the General and save some time.
What would get you doing that? What's stopping you?
I mean, probably if I had to guess, he's a dad. He's watching Dad Talk time. It's not going to really cost you any money, dude. That's the thing. Like, you don't need all this stuff that I have to with the podcast. And I'll tell you, like video games, like you can build an audience on that overnight if you do it right. Whereas this isn't as highly searched a term. So find one of the video games that's got a cult following. That's a very highly searched game and start there. Yeah, dude. Like Dwayne said, what's stopping you, man? He said he down here. He said, I'm trying to learn the tech aspect of it. I'm really good at RPGs to the point I'm a walking Elder Scrolls encyclopedia. See, that was the type of RPG I could never get into because I knew how long that game was.
It was a commitment, yeah.
The last RPG I played was Final Fantasy VII Remastered, and it took a week of my life. It was during another break of Dad Talk that I was like, I just got to do something, get out of it. But dude, that game was amazing.
Yeah, well, I'd say, general, yeah, do some Google searches. Reach out to me. I mean, as far as the tech stuff, if it's like, you get a YouTube channel or whatever. I mean, obviously Google is definitely your friend, but yeah, jump into that and just chip away at it once a day, week, whatever, whatever fits in there, and it'll help. I mean, it's something it sounds like you're passionate or you'd be passionate about. Kind of design out how you want to do it and start rolling with it and report back. Let us know what's happened, or if you're having issues, and hell, let's jump into it.
Me and Dwayne tried to play some video games on here.
Yeah. I mean,
he's probably like, what the hell are these guys doing?
We're just having fun. Yeah. Well, zombies, you're very good at zombies. Actually, I found a 10-foot HDMI cable for like $4 on Amazon.
Really?
I don't know if that would be interesting too. But yeah, if you go to Amazon and 10-foot HDMI, you could stretch that out to your setup.
I think that's the thing that's hurt me with Dad Talk, and I get a lot of pressure about this from my wife all the time, is she knows I have interest in other things too, but I've been branded as the Dad Talk guy, that if I do something outside of family law, I get people that huff and puff, and I'm like, dude, sometimes I want to do something else. And so I think in order to do that, might need to start a separate channel, and what would be holding me back is I don't have the time for it.
Yeah.
I do. As I was saying earlier, as I'm making these films, I want to start making stuff outside of that scope. One of them is going to be video games. Damn it. It's going to happen. I promise you. I don't know which video game it's going to be on yet, but it's going to happen. I am like so nerdy when it comes to video games. I know the console wars and the whole 9 yards, dude. The emulators.
You got a blog on it. You got to put out a thing about.
Well, dude, it was talking about, when are you going to see a blog like that? That's another thing I like about Substack. Video games can be beneficial for men. And I think that picture says it all. It's that guy is into it and his wife is like, oh my God, but it teaches a lot of things to these kids. Yes, it can become an addiction, as can anything.
Right.
But there can be some benefits to it. I've seen it. It can be my therapy sometimes.
Oh yeah. There's sometimes I pull up Call of Duty, Black Ops Zombie. I play Ascension. I'll roll through the same thing for 30 minutes, clears my head. I get back in the game and I'm 10 times better at getting stuff done. It's just the way my brain works.
Keep those dreams rolling in here, dude. I mean, we
Sabrina's. Let me pop hers up real quick here. My dream is helping people become the parents their child needs. Notice I did not say the best parent they can be. I said be the parent your child needs. They are different. Yeah. I would ask Sabrina, like, what things have you been doing? Are you doing, or like what areas would you need assistance in, or just trying to think out of the box here. I mean, it sounds like it's more local, or are you looking at expanding? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Where are you going with that?
And I hope I can say this in the right way, but even with that, Sabrina, I mean, that's kind of similar to what I'm doing now. You still need to have another one, because being parents, that should be a given. Right now, it's not a given, but that should be a given. And as parents, we can still have dreams too, right?
Yeah.
On top of it, like we were talking about video games or being dorks or whatever else, we want to do. So, but this should be a given. Unfortunately, right now, it's not a given. So it is a great passion to be into, and we need all hands on deck. So, I mean, think of an angle that you guys can take it in that's not currently being done. Unfortunately, I think a lot of times more podcasts that pop up and do the same things that we're already doing. I would love to see something on grandparents. I'd love to see some aunts and uncles. I'd love to see stepmoms. Stepmoms would be amazing. Amazing. And we need those groups to do that in order to be able to do what we're doing here. And then all those people can work together. I would love to work with people like that. They talk about unifying the movement. Well, in order to unify the movement, I think you gotta have people that are doing different things. So it's not just a group of people coming together and saying which one's going to do the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, many hands and all that. Yeah. Like, I mean, me, I have more of a tech background, so, website stuff, but I get involved in so many other things like for the Rotary group, which they were created to stop the polio epidemic from 100 years ago or so. And then they do service above self is our motto. and it's basically going out into the community and helping people selflessly. All the guys there, business owner, I mean, all walks of life. But I use my tech background. I manage their website. I do their videos. Stuff like that. But it's another avenue, and then I get to stretch my wings because they are involved in different things. I can then take what I've learned or what I end up doing for them and relate it back into this move, and it all just kind of works together. Again, I have a techie kind of background, and that's how you can use it to complement each other. Finding different things, different goals and passions. And integrating all that together, and that makes you a well-rounded person.
Dude, I like this from Mr. A. North. He said, after my breakup, I decided to go back to school to become a special education teacher.
Hey,
Being bashed by a baby mama terrorist for going back to school. 8 months left of schooling. That is really cool, dude. That kind of inspires me as well, man. My mom, North, worked with special needs for years. Not at a school. She used to sit at the house with them, and I got to meet so many of them, and I loved each and every single one. Every one of them, you had a different way of handling them, right? We had this one that really big guy. He couldn't hear and he couldn't speak, but he can make little noises like, but one of the nicest guys you'll ever see, come up to you, shaking your head and everything, always wanting to hug you and stuff. But he would have seizures. And when he had seizures, he was violent because he was such a big guy to the point that he knew when he was about to have a seizure, he would go lock himself in his room or go in a closet and just sit there and start crying because he didn't want to hurt anybody.
Right.
Because once it hurt, for some reason, dude, he loved me. And because I remember the first time everybody would get scared of him when they would start seeing him do that, because it was like, oh no, it's about to happen. And I remember going to him and he was just kind of there in the corner holding his hands, and I put my arm on him and just kind of rubbed his back there for a second and was like, hey man, it's okay. Yeah. And I watched him start to calm down, and he got up, and from that moment on, whenever I would go around, he was right there with me, dude. That is amazing. Have you guys seen Soft White Underbelly?
Never heard of that one.
Dude, this is one I just found not long ago. Let me see if I can pull it up and I'll actually share some of it. I've got a heart for stuff like this. Originally, I was looking at it and was like, what in the world is going on? It is this guy that goes and covers stories that nobody else will. And so he's covered the drug addicts and stuff on Skid Row. Yeah, I mean, dude, just anything. And he was like, it doesn't matter how bad of a person or what goes on, he's just there to talk to him, and he treats every one of them like a human being. The ones that's weird, he goes and talks to pedophiles and stuff like that because he wants to know what made you do that. But one of the stories that he did was on this family called the Whitakers. Check that out, dude. Hold up, I can share my screen and show you guys a little bit of it. There it is. This is them. It is the world's, the way he put it, the world's most inbred families. It's at 36 million views, dude. But it is about a family whose their mom and dad were double cousins. They were not only cousins on one side, they were cousins on both sides. Both sides, they had the same grandma and grandpa on both sides. And then they went and had these kids, and now every one of them's got challenges. One of them, his name is Ray. He barks like a dog. He can't talk or anything, but you can tell as he goes and talks to him, the guy is smart. He wants to talk so bad, but all he can do is like bark like a dog. But when they were younger, people would come and throw eggs and just like pick on him and put that family through hell, man. To the point of like they're very skittish and very scared when people would come around. So the first time he went around talking to them, I guess they were on guard, like, are you coming to, look down on us? And there was one sister that can talk and the rest of the kids that can't, and she takes care of them. And over time, every time he showed up, he went and did something for them. He went and fixed up their house. He's got one video. If you check it out, dude, it made my heart just like, oh my God, dude, this is the kind of stuff I want to be doing too. He takes them to Walmart and just says, buy anything you want. And you could tell they had never had that, dude. They were so excited to get a microwave and stuff like that. But you see their face and stuff. And yeah, you can tell there's some major issues going there. Those people didn't ask to be born.
Right.
You know what I mean? They did not ask to be born. And if you look at them, even though they have the challenges that they do, they are very lovely people, but they have their issues. And so special education, North, dude, that is amazing. And seeing, you know, channels like that where they're covering some of that. There's another one called Special Books by Special Kids. The guy started out writing books about kids that have like some of the more rare diseases. Then he started doing videos on them. If you check them out on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm talking about some diseases I didn't even know existed, dude, where most people wouldn't even go and talk to these kids because they don't know what's going on. And he goes there, sits there, hangs out with them and everything throughout the day. If you even do that with one person, you might not be able to change the world, but you can change the world for that one person, dude, making them feel loved and accepted. And so stuff like that, North, dude, awesome, brother. I hope you get that. Don't worry about the baby mama terrorist.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do, man. That is a beautiful thing that you're doing, man. And I wish you nothing but luck on it.
Yeah. It sounds like, I mean, when you were talking, I was kind of drawing some parallels to what a lot of folks in the community face. They're, you know, ostracized. No one wants to be around them. They're untouchable. I mean, when a person goes through a divorce, usually, you know, family picks sides and the one person is kicked out and then they're, you know, shunned or whatever, you know, they're looked down on, and then no one wants to approach them or talk to them. And all they want to do is, you know, be cared about. I mean, that would be an area for, you know, if someone feels led to do something like that, get into that, go talk to people that other people shy away from. Actually, I can't remember the young guy's name. You had met him. He was one that unfortunately was burned from the
Brian.
Mother. Brian.
Brian
Yeah.
was with me in Detroit when I went up there, dude. Anytime I go up to Detroit, I make sure he's there. I would take him around traveling with me, but because of his airway and his surgery, because they had to redo his breathing and stuff, it's probably not good for him to be traveling. But when I'm in the area, I paid him to come and work for Dad Talk to like do the equipment and stuff. And that's my buddy, dude. You know, and I felt so bad for him. Brian looks so much better now, dude. So much better. He's starting to look like a normal kid, but I mean, he's had almost 200 something surgeries.
But having people like you know, reach out, extend that hand and treat him like a human being, that is what made all the difference for him. And he is. It
was weird for me because I can only imagine living that. I saw how people would treat him like a little kid.
Right.
And he was an old teenager. You know, hey, buddy, how are you doing? I remember the first time he was like, piss off, and then farted or something. I'm like, and I'm looking at this through the eyes of like, you know, a younger kid. And I'm like, I'm talking to a teenager. So now we make farts and wiener jokes. We did that the whole time that we was up there. And like I said, that's my buddy, man. You never know what people are going through. You never know what people are going through, guys. And all we got to do is be good.
Yeah.
Be good to people, and it will come back to you.
Treat people with kindness. And
I guess that's part of the thing tugging at my heart is, yeah, I'm here with the family law stuff, but there is other stuff that I'll give you my dad, for instance. I had the example growing up. My dad, you know, at his church, we had a girl that I went to church with for many years. Her brother, and her mom were all mentally challenged.
Mm-hmm.
And she started getting really sick at around 11 years old. And they could not find out what was going on with her. They took her to doctor after doctor after doctor. Well, finally, they said, we're going to take her to the hospital and we're going to run tests on her all day long until we find out what's going on. And they did. And they went back to the mom afterwards and said, look, we can't find anything wrong with her. There's only one thing that we're finding in there, and we just don't think it's true. And they said, well, what's that? And they said, she's pregnant. He's like, there's no way. She's like, she doesn't ever go anywhere without her family. He's like, ma'am, the only test that's coming back is she's pregnant. And it was like, where all has she been? The only place she went was fishing with her dad a couple of times a week, biological dad. And that's what it ended up being. He went to prison 20 years, and she had the child. The child lives not far from here. What brilliant child, man! Graduated with honors.
Oh wow!
But that was one of the families that was at my dad's church my whole life, and I love them. But I've seen some of that. So when I was telling about that one video, people's challenges might seem different to you, but again, it's all in how you treat people, because everybody's human beings, guys. Everybody. And I have a heart for stuff like that. Hey, dude, if you're an empathetic person, the world can weigh you down. It really can. 2021, we started out that January. I got invited to do a march. Talking about marching, I got invited to do a march in Atlanta with Dr. Martin Luther King's niece, Alveda.
Oh wow!
That was, I think that was like New Year's. So, and we was told to go to Martin Luther King Park in Atlanta. I was one of the first ones there with my wife. And when I got out of there, there was this gentleman. He was digging out of the trash can. And then I saw him start to walk towards me. And I was like, dude, don't walk up to me and talk to me, because I'm not going to be able to walk away from it. I would be one of those people that I want to help, and he came up to me and started screaming at me, man. Like he's like, man, I'm hungry. And he was just foaming at the mouth, and you could tell he wasn't all there. And went down the road, went to a gas station, bought chips and Cokes and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, man, I wish there was a grocery store nearby. I would have went and helped him. But when I got back, I could see him in the distance, and he was digging in a trash can. And as I got close, he had this like little cardboard container, like you had put nachos or something in at a gas station. And there was this black molded fruit with just flies swirling all over it, flies and gnats. And I walked up to him to give it to him, and he just sat there and stared at me for a second, then grabbed it from me. No, thank you. No, nothing. Just grabbed it from me, and then sat there staring at me until I walked away. So I went and walked away and got out of there. I was like, as long as he's got something to eat, it doesn't matter to me. He puts it down, and it's like he completely forgot I just got him food. And I'm sitting there watching this guy eat this molded fruit. And then he proceeds to lean over this rail and just start screaming and convulsing and stuff. And I'm like, how is that guy on the streets, dude? How are we leaving people like that on the streets? Now, it's one thing. I know there's a lot of homeless, and you see the Skid Row and stuff like that. Some people make their own choices, but it's people like that with mental health and these challenges. Again, they can't help it. And who are we as human beings and loving people to sit there and just overlook? I can't do it, man.
Yeah, and that's where, again, people that feel led to, help out and do things, that's how you can make an impact. And, not that you're doing it for that purpose, but you'll end up feeling better helping these people and, putting yourself out there. And I know it's hard. I mean, I have my life experiences. You have yours. Everyone out in TV land has their experiences, but being with other people and sharing and doing those type of things with each other, that's part of the human experience. And turning a blind eye or cutting people down or all the anger and this is going to sound weird, but let me finish the thought. I want to go back to the world that was September 12th, 2001. After 9/11 happened, people were nice to each other. People
loved their country.
They love. Give me on a whole other thing there.
It didn't matter who was president at that time.
Yeah, we loved our country. We loved each other. We were all together. And in my life, I've experienced just how quickly that can change over. But I would love to get back to that time where people selflessly did things. They didn't, give $1 to the homeless guy and take 20 pictures of themselves or, brag about, I see so many different things where it's all I, and it's not people, that selfless giving and doing things, and that should be people's purpose. I mean, people should have that purpose.
I mean, dude, look at the Mr. Beast thing. Like, I don't mean it in a bad way. It seems like he's doing a nice thing. That guy is making millions and millions of dollars upon, hey, I'll give you $10,000 to do this, or I give you this. Right. And then, unfortunately, the ones that take the pictures and say, look at me, look at what I did, they get the views, dude. And that was what struck me different about this soft white underbelly guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting the views, obviously, and he deserves it for doing the work that he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Not look at me, look at what I did. You don't even hardly see the guy on the camera. And it was just a different, I'm telling you guys, go check out that channel. Go check out the channel. There's going to be some stuff that's going to kind of, you'll be like, I don't know what I'm watching here, but it was just, everybody's a human being. Everybody's got a story, no matter how bad they've done or how good they've done. I want to tell it.
Right.
And that's what journalism should be.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not there to get the clicks to be about you. You're there to share the awareness, to get, hey, we have this issue. I want to expose it so everyone knows, and hopefully we can fix it and move on and be better. That's, there was those, I'm talking about, the people that, they're giving the $1 to the homeless person when they have 1,000 that they could get rid of, and they're taking pictures and saying, oh, look at me doing this. That's, it's, checking your reasons for doing stuff, give sacrificially. I know I'm quoting the Bible here a little bit, but give sacrificially, or whatever that big word is, sacrificially. There we go. Give with the right hand, the left hand doesn't know what you're doing. I mean, just to kind of go down that whole path, or just random acts of kindness and doing it for the purpose of being good and putting that out there. Because if you do it for the right intentions, you feel good for doing it.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with saying, like, hey, look at what we're doing, because I want to do more of it. I think there is a difference in it, but you live in a world of instant gratification. I got to take a picture of every little thing I do. I got to let everybody know, like, every little thing. And instant gratification has definitely got its issues. I don't know if I can say it. The woman that's not getting enough attention, like, let me show you my new bra. I was scrolling through the wall last night, and I forget. Ray was here with me, and I was like, "Uh-oh, somebody needs some attention. Look, there comes the Bobs."
Yeah, I made a video on my Pissed Off Parent channel about that very thing last night. I think I did, because it bugs me so much when I see Shaken Bobbies out there getting 10 million views just for that purpose, when trying to create awareness for our issues is getting 10 from the same group of people. And so I actually made a video that starts out with just that type of video, and then I ruined it for them. Let's just put it that way.
Well, dude, it's like, look, I made an A on my report card. If you're talking about your A on your report card, why are you showing double D's? I mean, anyway.
Or I'm lonely, and they're doing the Bobs down and all that stuff.
It went in all kinds of different directions. I'm gonna get to some more of the dreams, because I like right here. Loren Jackson, he said, build a 1970 Chevelle and own a microbrewery and brew my own beer. That would be neat, dude. I'm friends with some of the moonshiners. Like, that's something that fascinates me on how they make, like, moonshine. But a 1970 Chevelle, great band as well. Oh, yeah. I'm more of the Mustang guy, and it's not that I don't appreciate the Chevelles.
Oh, nice,
but I don't know how to work on them. I know the Mustangs in and out, but those are some sweet cars, dude. And I'll tell you, those are better than the stock market right now.
Yeah,
they are.
Well, actually, y'all are. Yeah, you sell cars. I don't know, side hustle, main hustle, but yeah, you sell cars.
This.
Do what? Say that again.
That's what carries this.
Okay. Yeah. That's what keeps this going. Yeah. But yeah, 1970 Chevelle, great car. Yeah. God, the older cars. I mean, again, I'm an old guy. Those were just the best cars. They had so much class. They had so much. I mean, the way they designed them nowadays is just, and you can't work on them.
As much as I do the Mustangs, dude, you wouldn't know what my favorite was. I've always had an obsession with the old Trans Ams.
Oh, yeah.
I love them. Might not be a big deal for everybody else. Trans Ams and the Firebirds, dude, I love them.
So you own Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds in it, right?
No, it had nothing to do because I think that was a little bit ahead of my time. I know that's what it was, attached to.
That's a
I just I love the Trans Ams, dude.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I'm an art guy. That's why I got tattoos and stuff like that. I love that Firebird on that hood, man.
Oh yeah,
something about it that spoke to me. It seemed rock and roll. I mean, I know Johnny drove a motorcycle in Karate Kid, but it just, if he would have been driving a car, I think it would have been a Trans Am.
Yeah. It should have been. Yeah, that car. Yeah, it's cool just having a cool like the bird and all that stuff on. I mean, yeah, we don't have that nowadays with cars. It's a shame, but no, I would say also asking Lauren to like where are you at with the build? Have you started looking at like you're gonna do like get a roller pulled into the garage and start rebuilding from the ground up? That was actually one of my dreams. Haven't had a chance to do it yet. Time's quickly ticking, but pull a roller in the garage and rebuild it from the ground up. Be interested to hear what Lauren is saying, or what where you're at on that. And then the microbrew, I think you can get those little $50 like mini keg ones. I don't know if you're talking about that size or bigger.
I think the problem with microbreweries now is it's became similar to podcasts. Tons of people are doing it. Yeah. I even see like the actors and the musicians, they all have their own brand of whiskey or wine or something. And I'm like, good and damn well, they ain't making that. I know, like I am such a band dork that I got offered it for free, and I'm not a drinker at all. But when I was down there with David Henderson, we had went somewhere to eat, and the guy was like, I'm going to give you the Trooper. And I looked down, and it was a beer made after Iron Maiden. It's got Eddie on it. He's like, I know well, Bruce Dickinson had nothing to do with this beer right here.
Right.
But I took a couple of sips of it just to say I had drank an Iron Maiden beer. But it's, you know what, dude, if it's something you enjoy doing, that's what matters.
There's passion. Learn everything you can about it, and report back, share pictures.
Yes,
and we should open up like maybe in the I don't know how, but in the Dad Talk Today support group, maybe a secondary forum or something for this kind of thing where people can share like, hey, these are my passions. This is stuff I want to do. Are you able to make a section for something like that?
For anybody that hasn't seen it, if you go to the Dad Talk Today Substack and you got a story that you would like to tell in a space where you're protected, similar to the support group, this one has a little bit more because we know who's in there and what's going on. I made a whole thread that said, tell us your story. Also made a new one for the subscribers. They have a subscribers only chat. And I'm thinking this would be a great place to do that. Tell us your dreams, tell us your passions, post updates and your pictures and stuff. And I was also wanting to do the fitness challenge. I didn't get to do that with Jimmy last week, but I would love for us all to start doing that together, posting pictures, giving updates, and inspire each other. Dude, last week when Jimmy sent that picture, that kind of blew my mind. I didn't know Jimmy was that big of a guy, like not big as in like he is now. Jimmy was hefty, man.
He didn't miss a meal there. Yeah.
No,
well,
he didn't.
I mean, he's, but again, he went, he was fit and then went to fat. No other way to put that. Unhealthy. And then he said, hey, I need to take a checkup for the neck up. And he got back into it. And, here he is today. Shows that anybody can do it. I mean, you just got to work hard, have those goals and do it. That's a lot of it.
Yeah,
but yeah, he was chunky.
All right, guys, get on the Substack. That was a shameless plug because we're going to need you there anyway. dadtalktoday.substack.com. There's free subscriptions. There's paid subscriptions. Any of the subscriptions, make sure you get over there. Mr. Fitzpatrick again, he said, doing an event in August north of Boston. We call it Dadder Day. Meeting with the mayor in a couple of weeks. Need some Dad Talk banners. Dude, yeah, man. I would love, I don't have any I can give you, but I would definitely be okay with you using the logo. Please ask permission before you do it. And that's what Tom is doing. But yeah, dude, I'd love to help you guys out with that if you would need it. And that's cool that you're doing that. I think I saw a picture of you, Tom, when I was setting up the stream earlier, where he got together with a group of dads and they had like a little meeting and talk. Dude, that's where some of your solutions are. That's where the best ideas come from. And the more that you get that camaraderie and you build up that friendship, the more you get to strategize and plan with people because you trust them. Yeah, man, please get in there and do that. That's awesome that you're doing that, Tom. Dadder Day. I like it.
Oh, battery's got a nice little ring to it. Yeah, I mean, Tom has hit on it. These are things that people can do that are directly related to these things or indirectly. If you're into cars, get a hold of your buddies, do a car show, and then have like a separate section for equal shared parenting topics. Dad Talk Today, and you can put those two things together and make a hell of an event.
I would love to auction off a car for Dad Talk, like a Mustang, but in order to do it, it's too much work. Maybe we'll get to that point one day, because I tell you what, these 60s Mustangs, boy, they nice.
Oh God,
they're nice.
I'm gonna have to defriend like you, Robert, Mike, and a couple other people because I'm tired of my feed being filled up. I just want to own everyone, and they're actually really cheaply.
Dude, they're way. Right. I mean, they cost money, but like I went to I'm needing a truck. I've had the dad wagon for a while, the third row seat, because I had so many kids in the house. I don't have as many kids in the house now, so I don't need it, and I need a truck to be able to haul stuff in. So I went to go look at a truck the other day. Dude, it was hard to find a truck under 90 or 100,000.
Oh, I'm
not lying. I'm like, that's not even nowhere near my budget. That's how much my house is. Like, I don't have that. Dude, cars have gotten ridiculous.
No, everything. Property taxes.
Classics. That's not bad, dude.
I saw, they had the Cherry Red 68. I think it was like 20 or 25, which that is, in my opinion, cheap from what I've seen of those vehicles. There was a 70 fastback for in that 2025 range. I mean, nice. Got the 429 sitting. I mean, it's a very nice car.
429 in it.
I want, boy, without having to look it up.
429 is worth some money, buddy.
Trust me.
We don't own all those cars. We have people that we know that's like, hey, help us sell.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
You guys are brokers.
Honest money. And I mean, unfortunately, I have to do something outside of this to keep it going. And I enjoy it. I've learned a lot about it. It's taught me a trade I never knew. I'll be honest with you, Dwayne. My dad being the pastor, we never really worked on cars or things like that together. He was always doing stuff for other people. I wish I would have had more time with him, and it upset me as a kid until later on. And I saw the stuff that he was doing, and I'm like, I forgive you. I didn't realize what you were doing. Right. So all of this is new to me. Floor pans and having to replace the gas tanks and all that. And it's neat. I'm learning something new. And it was one of those, I always wanted to do it, but I didn't know how to do it. I just started doing it, damn it. And that goes for all of you guys with your dreams. The only thing holding you back is yourself. Well, I don't know how to do it. Well, that's why you got to do it. Learning it is a part of the fun.
Yeah.
Because you realize how much you didn't know about it. And then you go back, even the same thing with podcasting, dude. I told you I had somebody that wanted me to help them make a podcast not long ago, and said, Eric, we'll pay you to come in here and show us how to run this thing. I was like, okay. I didn't think it's a big deal because it's, quick knowledge. Yeah. I can sit up in 5 minutes and roll with it now. Dude, 2 hours later, they were just sitting there like, okay, explain this to me. And I'm like, oh, I know a lot more about this than I thought I did.
Oh, yeah.
Having to go step by step. That process, man, you got to go through that if you want to learn it. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it.
Yeah, YouTube is your friend. I mean, go out there. But yeah, you weren't born knowing how to use, StreamYard and set up your own podcast and linking it up and all that stuff. You're like, how do you do this? And then you YouTube it or however you did it, or ask somebody, you learned, and then you then moved on with it.
If you would have seen how long it took me to find out just how to use Zoom, because there wasn't many tutorials on it in the beginning. And I'm like, what the hell is this link? Call-in number. And then like, where do I get the invitation? How do I schedule a meeting? Just learning how to use Zoom was, now everybody knows how to use Zoom.
Yeah.
But it was there at the very beginning. And so you're learning that, this is a learning curve. But yeah, it's exactly as Dwayne says, like YouTube. I'm pissed at some of these kids that I see on these YouTube videos now, especially on TikTok, playing guitar, doing Beethoven and Van Halen and stuff like that. When I was younger, I learned it by just getting in there and doing it. Had I had that, anybody that's wanting to learn how to play guitar, there is absolutely nothing stopping you except the hard work and learning how to bend your fingers and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah,
It's my
dude.
trigger moment right there. I've got 3 guitars, including an acoustic one. I have done pretty much everything I can, every software. I got private lessons. I cannot play guitar.
I got one right here.
Yeah, I actually have. I just don't. I can get a riff every once in a while, but I did the Xbox guitar, not Guitar Hero, Rocksmith. I've done all. I cannot. My brain will not let me do it. I don't know what it is.
The very first time I heard "Sweet Child O' Mine," that's what did it. Dude, when I heard that guitar riff, I said, I am going to play that myself. I have to learn how to play that. And it didn't come right away. I had to learn Nirvana and all that other stuff first. And eventually I learned how to do it, and I can do it with my eyes closed now. But that one gave me the motivation to learn how to play guitar. I still, even to this day, as many times as I've heard it, I love that guitar riff. What's funny about that, Slash made that song as a joke. He was doodling around at practice one day.
Really?
That whole thing came on as a joke. He was making a joke, like, listen to this.
Oh, wow.
And they was like, hold up, you got something here.
It's like all the great things usually turn out or start as accidents. I mean, and then it happens. Yeah. I got like every tablature for Metallica. I've got I got all. It's just something I could.
Oh, that was Nirvana.
I'll have, in my spare time.
That was Nirvana, Green Day, Everclear stuff. Start off with that, and then move your way up.
Yeah, mine's
you're not
like
going to be doing Jimi Hendrix as soon as you get on it. You're not going to be doing Metallica as soon as you. I mean, some of the Metallica songs aren't that bad. You can play Nothing Else Matters without even mashing down a fret. At least in line to it.
I can do the riff from Enter Sandman. That's about it. And you know how that. Well, I've been trying to do it for years.
You're a basic.
What?
Yeah,
very.
Yeah.
Basically, exactly. Well, I keep getting copyright strikes on the Pissed Off Parent channel for my intros, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make my own song and do a guitar, drums, and all that, and make my own song and make that my intro and my outro. Because I'm again tired of getting the copyright hits all the time for every song I come up with. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to figure it out. But that's for everyone out there, that's what it takes. Like, you want to realize that dream or to realize that next step. You're like, all right, what do I got to do in order to get there?
Oh, dude, this is hitting me in the face right now.
Uh-oh.
Dude, I had a guy that came and sat down when we was doing some filming the other day, and he had heard that, I got the drums. I know how to play drums, guitar, and was in a band. He's like, man, I got a whole studio. You need to come over and jam with me. You need to. I was like, yeah, dude, I still love music was my passion. And he's over there begging me. And he's like, what? Yeah, man, why don't you just come over here? I'm like, I got too much going on with dad talk. Yeah, dude. It was one of those things I would love nothing more than to just go let loose. But I got too much going on right now. Don't let that become you, dude. I'm being a very, very big hypocrite right now.
I'm trying to find a mirror to put up in the camera at you. Like, what's the mirror? Yeah.
I miss it so bad. But dude, if you could see the attitudes would be, you guys think that family law and relationships are bad. You have never, ever, 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 ever in your life seen the drama that comes from band members. I am telling you, dude, it is worse than the most toxic alienating ex, because they all got the way to do it, the way they want it to sound. And that's why you see the drama going on between bands. We never thought Guns N' Roses would get back together. All these different bands break up, Journey, you name it. It's bad, dude. And so I think that's what prepared me for this. I think it's why I was so good at politics when I got into it, because I had been in music. Damn it, I already knew what went on.
Yeah.
Man, that's the other side of the dark side of the music industry. And I think that was what kind of started messing with my love for music. Is I tried to make a living in it, and it was my love, my passion. And when I started trying to make a living in it, I saw the other side of the industry that I was just like, I was excited about, meeting rock stars and stuff like that in the beginning. And then after meeting a bunch of the knobs, it's just like, okay, no.
Yeah.
There were some cool ones though.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the other things with like hobbies or one your passion is that sometimes you get into it and you see what the lay of the land is and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe that. I mean, I don't joke about it, but I kind of joke about it. But when I got into when I was saved and got into the church again, technical building music, whatever, I started helping out, but I started learning the kind of the ins and outs of how a lot of churches run, and it just soured me to the whole experience. Because sitting in the pews, looking up there and seeing it, you got one picture, but when you were behind the scenes and seeing all the stuff behind it, it just really soured it.
You know who the worst ones to work with was? Local bands.
Really?
They thought they were Metallica. Oh yes, dude. And it's the worst ones were the ones that nobody cared for. Like they thought they were the biggest thing, would come to the clubs. And so I got to see the other side of what the club owners go through is like people that trash the clubs. Oh, I'm not getting paid enough. I'm not getting this. And then these guys that beg you, like, we're huge. We'll pack this place out. You got to have our band. You get them there. Not a single person show up.
Wow.
Guitar is not tuned, but they think they are just this arena band playing to this empty room. And here's the thing. If you're not putting butts in the seats, if you're not selling tickets, if people aren't buying the alcohol that come to the show, you're bad for business.
Right.
Then when they didn't get paid at the end of the night because they didn't bring anybody because nobody wanted to hear their band, it became all your fault. Local bands were the absolute worst, dude. But I also got to see the other part of the industry. Dude, when Napster and stuff came out, that really destroyed a lot of the music industry. It really did, because these guys can make their money on royalties and stuff,
right?
And they didn't have to worry about the live element so much. Then the live element became all they've got because they get paid crumbs. And then you got these people similar to the family courts that make too much money at it. That's what you call Live Nation, Ticketmaster. They're owned by the same people.
Exactly. It's all about the Cure. Yeah.
People talk about like the concert tickets right now. There's a reason behind that. It's not the bands doing that to you.
No.
They get booked by the same people. And then like, that's the reason why there's $3,000 to $10,000 meet and greets to take a picture with somebody, or $200 to $300 to get a nosebleed ticket to some of these concerts. It's ridiculous, dude. And so that live music became everything for these guys. And that is a hard road on a hard life on the road. When you got 5 or 6 guys, and then you got to have tour managers, and then you got to have merchandise, you got to have a tour bus, you got to have all this, dude. Them guys aren't making the money that people think. They aren't. And so trying to make a living in that industry, it was rough, dude. It was rough. I was a little bit safer because if I got to the point after working with local bands, if I booked a big band, I made 10% of what their guarantee was because I was the guy that booked them for you. I was what you called a talent buyer. You tell me whoever you wanted, I can get it as long as you got the money and you're not full of crap. I can get them for you, and then I make 10%. If the band was $20,000, I made $2,000, and that was my fee, which was not bad to have somebody that could get you those type of connections. But even seeing like the big guys, $20,000 sounds like a lot of money. Now split it between 5 guys, then they got to pay the techs, they got to pay everything that I was just saying. Then they got to pay for their own plane tickets and stuff. Making crumbs.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're not Metallica level, you're not making any money.
A good way to say that if anybody that is in the comments right now, I know we went completely left field. If there's somebody saying, I want to be a musician for a living, you really think about it. Yeah. I don't know what's worse, trying to make a living in family law if you're not an attorney or an expert, or being a musician. They're both rough. But these artists got something nowadays that, we didn't have back then. They got social media.
Oh, yeah.
You had to have a label to get noticed. You don't need that now. You just need to have grit and tenacity and learn how to promote yourself. No matter what it is with your dreams, guys, if you want to do something creative, it's all about how you can get the word out. You got to be good at what you do, but you have to know how to bring people in to see it and how to promote yourself, without looking like an attention whore.
Right. Yeah. That's the other, big one, being able to word of mouth and getting, doing it the right way, building that up, and whatever your passion is, either for a business or for a hobby or a passion of yours, being able to promote correctly, having and using social media for what it should be designed for, not being that the media whore or doing silly stuff there. Yeah, I remember there's a local band here that I helped out making music videos for them, and oh my god, it was a horrible experience because I got all the footage, and I'm like, all right, and I'm a tech guy, so I'm like, all right, you tell me exactly the way you want me to do the video. The songs, all that stuff. That's your passion. How do you want it to look time wise? And I'll build it for you. Whatever you come up with is fine, which I've learned never believe that.
Yeah, right.
After like the 7th revision, which I have to redo everything because they're wanting it from different, a whole different thing. I was like, I can't do this for you guys anymore. Drove me
People
nuts.
go into that thinking somebody that says whatever you think is going to be the one that's easy to get along with. It's the guy that comes and gives you a list. This is what I want. That's easy to get along with. As long as you do what they say, you'll be all right. The person that says whatever is the one that's going to just nickel and dime you, drag you out. I made one music video, dude, and it did really good. It's had like 350,000 views. Waylon Jennings grandson. Yeah, check out Lead Me Home on YouTube. That was made by Dad Talk when we was at an event doing stuff for Dad Talk. I also had a friend, and we made that video. It's got Daisy Dukes in it. Luke Duke, Tom Wopat, and all the Moonshiners are in it. It's really cool, man. Great song, but it's talking about being a little baby and missing your parents and someone when they pass away. It's a good song.
So, I mean, it sounded like a passion making those videos, but it sounds like you said, okay, did it, we're good. Ever think about making another video like that, a music video? If you had to write?
I think it was more because he's a Jennings and because Waylon was his granddad, people probably think it was easy for him. Being the son or grandson of somebody that was very famous is very hard on these guys. I mean, just talk to Hank Williams Jr. Hank Williams Jr. had to be like his dad in the beginning. Eventually, he went and branded himself as Bo Cephas to get out of the shadow of his dad. So he was one of the ones that done it successfully. But it can be very hard because people are going to compare you to, that famous name that they know.
Right.
And I watched this guy come from nothing, and he had some rougher years, and he sobered up, and then he came on Dad Talk right out of rehab. It was one of our better shows that we had. A lot of people tuned into it, and he was just very genuine. And I could see how much he was trying and wanted to be a family man. And Dad Talk was very attractive to him, even though he hadn't been through a family law thing. He was going through the sobriety and stuff. And I got it. I'm in the music business. And I was looking at it, and I said, this guy just needs to have some good media made about him, and I think it'd get him some attention. And we went and made that video, and I think it's one of his #1 videos. And I made it on an iPhone. I didn't need the big equipment. It was like, let's tell the story on it. There was a story that was in it, and I could visualize it. And so I didn't make no money or anything off of that. I did it just for a friend.
Yeah. That's usually how I end up doing those type of things and I've learned not to do a whole lot of stuff for free anymore, although I still get caught in that trap because I know I just want to help people. But whenever I do something I say, you know what, I want to help your band out or your business or your organization, whatever. I end up, doing stuff, but then it just becomes such a pain working, with people.
People are good at what they do. So a musician most of the time is going to be good at music. They might not be the best at promoting. And so I can see somebody that has all the opportunity in the world, and there's just a few pieces that they're missing. And because I'm a creative guy and want to help people, I'm like, let me show you what to do.
Right.
That gets you in trouble.
And then pretty much for me, almost every time getting burned, I always go, why am I doing this? But
I did not get that with Way. Way's been great to me, by the way. Just wanted to put that out there. But I've had the experience that you're talking about with other people.
Had some negative experiences. But for folks out there, like, what's stopping you from realizing whatever dream or whatever path you're down? Is it time, money, effort? What can you do to knock those roadblocks down or work through, I don't want to call them excuses because it can be looked at negatively, but those excuses, I mean, what's stopping you from doing it? I mean, there's 24 hours in a day. You got to sleep, what, 6 to 8 hours? So that gives you, a good bit of time to do stuff.
Well, and then nature calls. You're going to have to take breaks in between, just like I'm going to let you talk for probably a minute or two because I got to pee.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, let's go ahead. See, you need to get that catheter put in. Too much information. Yeah, but no, guys, I mean, tell me what things are sounding. I can try to maybe bullet through here and maybe help out or see Sabrina. I'm going to start with the first or the last comment first or however. Time and experience. So let's see yours. I saw something about Girl Scouts, which intrigued me. Let's see, what was relative? Making the, so yeah, time. Yeah, well, I mean, that's something there. But as far as the experience piece of it, it sounds like you've been, involved. You're definitely, you have the heart for it. You've been involved in a number of different things. Find out like an area that you want to get into. And start going down that, that path. Maybe if fundraising is your thing, get a hold of your local chapter of, some organization and start, going through. What about, homeless shelters or something that have children in there? You can go in there and start speaking with them. It all depends on the area that you want to go in. But yeah, throw out some ideas or throw out some of the challenges you're having. We can see if we can, knock through some of those. As Father X here, the challenge of pursuing dreams is getting zero income for a while. Can you pay the bills? But that's why you start slow. Yeah, time, money, and experience. It's actually in the project management world, it's called the triangle of a project. You have those three, you only pick two. It's kind of a neat thing, but hopefully you have time on your side so you can slowly start building towards what your end goals are. If you're wanting to start a podcast, talking about just that one, while you're on the can, no pun or no shot back at Eric there. If you're on the can, pop up the old phone and watch a YouTube video how to start a podcast.
Hemorrhoids that way.
And you
So I've been told.
So you've been told.
It happened with me.
But yeah, and it doesn't need to be, as Eric was saying earlier, it doesn't need to be where you quit your job and do that full time, unless it gets to a point where it just makes sense to do that. But starting small and making those incremental changes and improvements over time and getting better at your craft. I mean, right now, aside from all their fun stuff, I build websites for smaller companies or organizations to help them out. I either don't charge anything or I charge usually it's just the cost of the software and packages and stuff like that to help these businesses out. But as that's growing, my name gets thrown around more, and then I get paid gigs. And then over time I get more and more and more. And then, who knows, maybe if I'm making the kind of money that I make in my professional world, I may go, hey, you know what, let's switch it over. I can tell you that won't happen because making websites drives me nuts sometimes, but that's it. But you're gaining experience, you're opening, you're building friendships and connections, and those different things. And that's, you look at that big picture, like, if we're keeping it in the equal shared parenting community or in that environment, when I reach out to people that I wouldn't normally talk to build a website or to make a video or to design whatever for them, I'm making those connections. And then I can come back later and say, hey, I got this thing going on. And then we build that relationship, and who knows what could happen. Maybe they say, hey, I'll donate a couple cases of wine. I was thinking of something recent, a couple cases of wine to a benefit that you're going to do. I've made political connections I wouldn't normally have because I've helped out, a mayor or certain political folks, and they remember me and they come back around.
Your net worth is your network.
Ooh, that's a good one. You got to write that one down.
Jimmy said it the other day.
Okay.
Yeah. He was talking about like financial struggles and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, but Eric, look at your network. Your network is your net worth, and that has been something cool, dude. No matter where we're at, we know somebody in those states. Yeah. And it's easy to take that for, granted sometimes, but yeah, sometimes you just ask yourself. There might be something where it's good to do a good deed, and it might. There's been several times I've done good deeds, and it's came back to help me later on. Shit, dude, look at the Arlington trip. I mean, that was one of those, just wanting to do a good deed, knowing that there was nothing coming out of it. But anyway, I don't know exactly where I was going to with that one. I tell you, I do feel better now. I was sitting there thinking when I was peeing, that is one place where us men definitely have an advantage over you women, if any of you are watching. Like how free it feels to let it dangle and just be able to pee anywhere as long as it's not in public. I bet you wish you could do that. That is one place. We need to do it with pride. You know what? You can't pee standing up. You can't pee in the woods like that.
Actually,
I mean,
with a weenus, you could.
I have heard of this.
I blew your mind there, didn't I? Yeah,
No. What is a weenus?
It's like a plastic thingamabobber that allows.
Do you know that this is called the weenus?
Oh, yeah. This is your elbow.
Okay.
No. Yeah, you can't pee out your weenus. That'd be a weird surgery. Although who knows what will happen. But no, there's like a Sheena. Wait, is it a Sheena? Again, it's not something I've researched like in depth. It's like a Sheena. It's a sheet. Whatever. There's a contraption. Actually, I do 3D printing and stuff, and I was going through this website that offers free things, and they did have one of those items there. You could 3D print a female stand-up pee contraption, but yeah.
All right, Dwayne, I'm about to bring up a comment. Pay attention to it. Nobody else is going to understand. Inside joke.
Okay.
Jason Bermender, my brother always played Stairway, so I have to remind him of the sign in Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, party time, excellent.
All right.
Yeah, great movie, by the way.
Get all the dads on a screen together one day and just get us all to do Bohemian Rhapsody at the same time.
That would be
therapy.
That would be therapy.
It could also kill a lot of people in their ears.
Well, they can just hit mute and keep that off. But yeah, that's the thing is guys and girls, but guys having fun and doing silly stuff. Over the last decade or so, I've been allowed to finally be the nerd I've always wanted to be, and I'm just a hell of a lot happier doing nerd stuff and being joking and all that. That has just brought me so much happiness. Being a dork, it's been. I mean, it's great. I don't have to be serious.
There's something very freeing about being able to laugh at yourself, not take yourself too serious. Makes you sleep better at night.
Oh yeah. You're comfortable in your own skin. Some of that's getting older, but you get comfy in your own skin, and you can laugh at yourself. I mean, falling down the stairs, which is painful, but you can laugh at it after it's done. Much later, but or things like that, or you forget when you walk into a room, you forget why you're there.
No, that's
a famous one. The first time I had to pee twice. So keep it on the pee stuff. That I don't know what that was all about as you get older.
You had to what?
You got to pee twice. You pee once, you finish up, wash your hands, you start walking out, you go, oh, I got to pee again. Come back and pee again.
I haven't done that one yet.
Oh, get ready.
I think we all know what it's like to take the shower in the morning and think you're all good, and then you got to go to the bathroom afterwards, right?
Oh yeah. You're in there, and you're not ready to do the Revenge of the Nerds moment. Was it Revenge of the Nerds? Can't remember which movie it was. Where they
I don't remember the Revenge of the Nerds. I remember it, but I don't remember what happened in the movies.
Classic movie.
We need a nostalgia show.
Yeah, I think people have actually reached out to me. They're saying, "Hey, to do a show idea would be to go down and do nostalgia and talk about, the toys and movies and what was going on at certain times, and talking about that, and see good and bad, what people remember, where they were. Like, you may not have been the Challenger explosion. I mean, this is a negative one, but the Challenger explosion.
My brother lived that one. I did.
Okay.
Because he told me when it happened, he went running around the house screaming that the moon exploded. He didn't understand what had actually happened.
Okay.
It had to be a big moment.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, think like one thing that I think happened in my generation that'd be one that would be remembered for a very long time. 9/11. I mean,
Yeah.
you touched on that earlier. What a moment that was. I remember where I was, what I was doing,
Hmm.
and I remember my dad coming and getting me and us watching the second plane hit. And I wasn't quite fathoming what was going on at that point in time. And my dad knew. He was telling me, "You're watching history happen." You know, and it was
Oh,
one
yeah.
of those moments where it's like the world stood still. You know, what would happen in America if something like, I mean, do you think that we would have our country pull together and love each other and help get through that moment together like we did back then? If that something like that happened to now? I don't even want to think about that, something like that happening again. It just makes you wonder, because I remember, like I said, the next day, everybody's got their American flags. They wanted to see justice, which
I'm one of the
the way
only
they acted
people.
then is the way they should act with this movement. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, I'm one of the only people on my street that has an American flag waving in their front yard.
dude, I remember, people being so proud to fly that flag then. And then a couple of years ago, we're watching people on video wipe their butts with the flag. And
Yeah,
it's
burn
like,
it.
you guys are so spoiled and entitled brats that you have no idea how privileged you are to be in the United States. Yes, we've got our issues, but I've been over to some of those other countries, Dwayne, that when you get back here, you almost want to get down on the ground and
Kiss
kiss
the
it.
ground.
It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I took you for granted. I thought it was bad until I went and saw, other places, especially when I went to the Dominican Republic.
Mm,
Oh my God, dude.
yeah. Yeah. It's
God.
well, they've been interviewing millennials. I guess that would be the right generation. So they were born either right at or they didn't remember it or whatever, and had them describe and talk about 9/11, and it's scary. Just, I mean, that the new generation, they don't have that same whatever that my and your generation and other ones.
Because again, entitled. I mean, they don't know what it's like riding your bike to get somewhere. They can get an Uber, or
Yeah.
having to go to the library and then look through the cards to find the book to go get the information. They just ask.
New decimal
Siri.
system.
You know what I mean? And so instant gratification, they haven't had the moments to appreciate what it's like to go through those hard times and realize what they've got. And it's us that are sitting here now doing what we're doing, saying, damn, how did our parents feel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I remember the stories of my mom talking about having to use the outhouse and go out there in the middle of the winter, and all of their family having to take a bath in the same water that was heated up on, a stove and stuff. So many things that we've taken for granted. And if, I think what would be good is for a lot of these kids to see what's going on in some of those countries, dude, to experience it. One of the projects that I'm wanting to work on so bad, and I know it doesn't have anything to do with what we're going through here in America, but it's just one of those that like intrigues me, is my buddy has been wanting me to go over to Africa with him for quite a while now. And I would love to just go over there and document, like, do you see what you've got? But here's the thing, as bad as it is, and when me and him are talking about the challenges that they're going through over there is parts of it over there that make me jealous. The one thing they've got over there that makes me jealous is the nuclear family.
Yeah, nuclear family. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're number one.
Even as bad as it is that they've got the nuclear family. They appreciate each other and they work with each other.
Right.
And would I trade the technology and the ease for more sense of that nuclear family? That's a tough question for me, dude.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I've gotten quite used to grabbing my phone and asking it anything, or door dashing or Ubering, or ordering my groceries and having it delivered to my house. Those conveniences, having running water, hot and cold, as long as I want it. Yeah,
they'll never know. I mean, you go to Google now. You talk to Siri. This generation will never know what it's like to ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. Oh my God.
When's the last
They'll
time you
never-
guys asked Jeeves about anything?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if that site's even still up, or even the
It was there
dialect
for a while. I
version.
think it went to ask.com.
Oh yeah, probably moved over. But yeah, they didn't know the experience of the dial-up generation. That was the weird thing about my generation is I was around before the internet and the beginning of the internet, and how we got to where we're at today, and seeing all those changes. Having an office network that was like 4 computers, the rest of the office didn't have it, and those differences. And I'd love for kids to experience that, but they because they just have no idea of how different things were.
There's some trade-offs though. One thing I do say, me and somebody was talking about the other day, I think I've seen a little bit better with this generation is a little bit more accepting of some things. Like I remember middle school and high school being hell if you didn't wear the right clothes, man.
Yeah.
Like where I was from, if you didn't wear Tommy Hilfiger or certain clothes, you were an outcast. Now
Yeah.
the kids can wear the Walmart shoes and stuff. It was
They go to
fun.
thrift stores.
I was talking
like
to Ray. We both had the same pair of shoes, and it was as traumatic for him as it was for me. I went to Walmart to get some shoes. I didn't get shoes from Walmart. That was a death sentence. You didn't do that and then walk into school and they knew that you bought something that was everyday low prices. But one of the basketball players of that day, NBA Jam, dude, Hakeem Olajuwon, he came out with a shoe for Spalding that you could get at Walmart for like $25, and they were some cool shoes, dude. And I got them. Ray was telling me he got the same one. That was one of the most traumatic experiences for me as a kid, Dwayne. I walked in that 5th grade class, and every one of the kids was sitting there pointing, laughing before I could even sit down. Like, you got your shoes from Walmart. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I was so proud of these things. I remember going home like, get these things away from me. I don't see as much of that anymore. So that's one of the trade-offs. That's about one of the only trade-offs I'll say.
Yeah, mine was Payless, but actually it's weird. Champion. Back in my generation, you would not be caught dead with Champion gear. That was a Walmart brand. But apparently recently, that's like the thing for the kids to get. Because they're like, I asked them what they wanted for Christmas. Oh, Champion this, Champion that. And I'm like, really? What? No, why would you want that? And then it turns out that's the thing now. It's just those differences in the generations and trying to relate back. I've actually had my kids watch some old VHS tapes of me, which were embarrassing. Oh yeah, VHS tapes when I was a kid growing up. Actually my first car was a '68 Mustang, and what my hair looked like then. I had business in front, party in back. I was a metalhead.
Did you have a mullet?
Oh yeah. My hair.
Dude, I want to see it.
I will have to dig that picture out. I think I have it somewhere. I have a combo.
Dude, I escaped the 80s and 90s guys living in the South without ever having a mullet or a rat tail. That much I can say. I did not escape the bowl cut. I did not escape that. My mom's actually got a picture of me, one of my younger pictures, where I look like Toadstool off of Mario with the bowl cut. Yeah, but I did not have the mullet. And the rat tails was the big thing when I was in elementary. Rat tails and slap bracelets.
Let's see. I think I found. Where is it? I have to read.
You got it?
It's actually a picture of me as a teenager, and then as an adult. I'm trying to find the one. It was in my profile, but it wouldn't pop up without changing my profile picture. Actually, I think I had it on as my profile picture at one point. Let me see if I can find this thing. Where is there should be a link for profile pictures. Boy, my kids were ever this small.
Dude, that's a new thread that we could start. Show us your, kids' pictures, your kids' haircuts.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Profile.
Mine's embarrassing, dude. Like thank you, Mr. A. He said no mullet or rat tail. And thank you.
All right.
I'm proud of it. I really am. But I did one time to piss my dad off. He never had earrings or anything like that.
I don't know why I thought I was going to do it just to mess with him because I had gotten that point like high school where I just didn't give a crap. I went and shaved my head bald.
Nice.
And then the next day was yearbook pictures.
Oh, yeah.
It was on me.
Yeah, those were
Look,
embarrassing.
he's got the rat tail. No,
that
not rat
was
tail. I meant
that was that one. I need to find. Well, I grew up in a small little town, Missouri, that actually flooded the house. I had actually destroyed it, and most of all my pictures were gone. I had to find like a video where you can see the length of it. But that was part of what that was one of my hairstyles back in the day.
yeah.
Young and fresh and deaf and dope.
I
And there's,
had
you know, 45 there.
a period where I had my hair down to my butt.
Oh
And
yeah.
I tell you, dude, I will never do that again. I will never, ever do that. I have been very tempted to grow it back out to my shoulders recently, though. I have
Oh, yeah.
really been thinking about it. My wife told me I could go for it, but not like I need her permission anyway. Just saying. I'm like, what would you think if I did this? I don't know. I don't know.
Hey. I thought about going the ponytail route again. at
How many
some
of you
point.
guys? How many of you guys have had a mullet? I'd like to hear it.
You know, like
You don't-
find some old pictures of yourself. Maybe do like a side by
That'd be
side
fun.
then and now.
It'd be fun. Yeah, yeah. People like those challenges too.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I mean, celebrate. Some of the years you have on you now. Show what you look like as a young person, and as you look now, or just some pictures about when you were a kid, or family pictures, or good fun favorite memories growing up. I mean, there's some of those. I have. Let's see. Here it is. I had some when I was let's see, my dad. Oh, actually, you want to see me as a little kid? Here, let's have all kinds of fun here. That's me at about, I think, 4.5, 5 years old.
Oh, dude, we're gonna have some fun with this. We're gonna have some fun with it. Give me a second, you guys. You chip in, okay? We need to do this more often anyway. I've been wanting to do this for a while. All right, we're gonna share. Let's see.
There's hairstyles of the 80s.
This is from Nostalgia Hit Source on YouTube. Check it out.
Comment if
Look
you're
at them
guilty.
together. All right, tell me what you think. There you go.
Oh, flock of seagull action there.
What the hell is that thing?
Whoa.
I'm not gonna lie. Hold up. Something ain't right.
That's
That looks like a condom.
yeah. It's kind of starting to
I lied
unroll.
to you. Looks like she's wearing a condom on her head. Okay, she's gonna regret that one.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that smile, dude. Could you imagine having to
Sash.
look back at that?
Oh god. Burn them all. Burn them all.
Ah!
Oh
Now make that one make sense.
yeah. That's the side shaved head. I'm waiting for the ring around the nose to the ear. The Skid Row.
Wow.
Oh, Aquanet hair. That was everybody's yearbook. Whoa.
Condom came back.
Like Tweaky from Buck Rogers. Oh wow.
It's crazy. He had the mullet going on. He looked like they're from The Cure.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh
man.
god, Aquanet.
Do people even use hairspray anymore? What is that? She looks like she got electrocuted.
Thing. Oh yeah.
I thought this was going to be men's hairstyles, but this is pretty fascinating. Huh.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
Batman.
dude.
Oh yeah, he was a rocker.
Yeah. Looks like Cindy Lauper.
Yeah.
Is it Cindy Lauper?
He's still alive.
There's your good mullet.
Achy breaky right there.
Something about Mary again.
Something about Mary, yeah.
Yep. She found the hairdo.
Oh wow.
Oh, oh my God.
Ooh, Cliff Burton.
John
right there.
Lennon's lost son.
Oh yeah. Wow.
It's horrible. I'm gonna lie to you. Oh, you know what's so sad is there's people that got pictures that look just like this hanging on mom and dad's shelf somewhere.
Oh yeah. That's oh god. What's her name? Can't remember her name. Yeah, that was.
Ooh. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh god, he came up with his own ankle bracelet.
Dude. And that's not even a windsuit. I thought the girls are in the windsuits. That was more of a 90s thing.
got the Cavaricci belt
Are they
right
twins?
there. Probably, yeah. Dark tooth earring. Wow.
Okay, dude. The guy on the very right, he has all sorts of stuff going wrong on here.
Oh yeah.
The big hair, the tank top, the Daisy Dukes. Like, I guarantee you, he regrets this picture. The saddest thing is his daughter on the bottom left almost looks just like him.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably switched clothes that day. Wow.
Yeah. Man. So, I mean, I guess. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, class rings. Who's got the class ring still?
Some of these are so painful, I don't even know what to say. Oh, Lord.
Oh! Didn't play right there.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. Wow. Oh, my
Oh.
God. It's E.T.
What was up with the glasses in the 80s? Like, what?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. That was wrong. But it doesn't look like E.T.
Yeah. Well, the glasses.
She was trying
I
to
mean,
phone home. I don't know, dude. I had some, buddies. I felt sorry for them, dude. They would look at you and their eyeballs would be like the size of baseballs.
Yeah. Yeah, the technology hadn't improved, but wow.
All right. I hope she made it back home. Wow. Okay. I wonder how long it took him to do these type of hairstyles. What do you
Like
think?
an hour and a half? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy on the bottom right, they made the kid
Yeah.
look like Froggy from Little Rascals. Thank God he didn't
Oh.
have glasses on.
Yeah, he emancipated himself from that family.
This has Karen written all over it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was
I'm telling you, dude, this is an 80s version. You've met an 80s Karen.
yeah.
You wouldn't want to mess with her.
Geez, yeah, with the
He is in some low budget porn movie somewhere. I guarantee you.
yeah.
Now, I've never
Flock of
seen this.
Seagulls. That's Flock of Seagulls guy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What song?
And I run so far away.
Really? I bet he did run. I'd run from that too. Wow. Okay.
All right.
I guess it was one of those just try it and see what sticks. All right. It's not too bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not.
He's bald now, yeah.
Now, holy
Whoa.
shit. Blonde Peg Bundy.
Tammy Baker right there.
Oh, dude, Tammy Baker. Oh, Jesus, dude.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's see.
It's hurting because I want to say something. I don't know what to say. Is that a wig? You think he's wearing a wig?
Oh no, those are tips. That's frosted tips. It's got to be.
You think this is one of those relationships where she played the masculine role and he played the feminine?
Well, no, because they had that. Annie Lennox, Sweet Dreams. She had that hair. The Stop the Insanity girl had that hair. So that, I mean, there were. I wouldn't be
Dwayne,
surprised.
I can promise you, at looking at this, there is no sweet dreams made of this.
No, yeah, absolutely none there.
Okay, it was horrible.
Nightmares. Freddy Krueger gonna jump out.
Dude, he looks like a white version of Sinbad.
He does.
He look like Sinbad. Shazam. That's
Shazam.
his nickname. Never even met the guy. I'm gonna call him Shazam.
Oh my god.
Wow. Dude. All right. It's looking at stuff like that. We're sitting here talking about, in my generation, this and this. And it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe when we tell our kids about how great our generation was, we don't show them those videos. No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
You got a picture to pull up down here, Dwayne?
Oh, well, actually, I've talked about my dad. This is actually popped that up here. It's my dad. And actually, this tractor that we're sitting on is actually up in Missouri. Actually, I have it out. It's in my front yard. I live in the suburbs, but I have a Farmall Super C full-size tractor in my front yard. That's my youngest Daniel, my oldest David, when they were much younger than the proud grandpa. But everyone know what my dad looked like. That's him.
Cool, man.
That's actually the picture I actually have in the other room of him. But yeah, lots of. It's good to go down memory lane, and
It is. I wouldn't want to go down memory lane if that was my hairstyle.
Yeah, some of those. I wish I could. Again, thankfully most of my pictures went away in the flood, and I wasn't able to save any of them, so I could just make up whatever I wanted to. Like, oh yeah, I've had this hairstyle my entire life, but no, actually, here's another picture of me as a younger child. Let's see here. That's me there. That's my nerd look there. Colorized. I'm old, but colorized.
Are you ginger?
Was
You were a ginger.
I don't know how my hair was actually a light brown when I was.
It looks ginger to me, bro.
Yeah, maybe I was. Maybe that's the fire. I don't know.
Strawberry shortcake.
Yeah,
it's red hair.
And I think there's a really embarrassing one. Where is it? It just shows, that. Well, actually, that one, my Easter.
I are embarrassing, dude. I got a bunch of mine in my tidy whities.
Oh, really?
That's what I wore around the house. And I was like, hell with clothes, man. I'm at home. Just go in my tidy whities.
Yeah, do your thing.
I'm glad that's not a fad anymore, dude.
Oh, the tidy whities, yeah.
Yeah. I was one of the last ones to leave. I had a hard time leaving things like cassette tapes. That broke my heart. So did VHS. Now CDs. Now I think it's DVDs. All those collections are meaningless now.
Oh yeah, getting I converted like VHS over to DVD and then streamed it on a personal channel I have on YouTube. I have like all these home movies and stuff of me when I was a little kid. But yeah, I mean it's good to go down. So did you? Oh yeah.
He said, yeah. You were definitely ginger, bro. Dave Dash, I see your stuff down there, dude. Make sure to get in the support group and ask that.
Oh, refuse claim you focus.
Yeah, make sure to get in the support group and ask that. Like, I hate to.
California.
I don't want to skip over that by no means, but I do see it. Make sure to get in there and talk to some people about that. That's what it's for. We're trying to get a little goofy right now.
Have a little bit of
It's
fun.
hard when people got serious, stuff going on.
Let's see some of the other fun. That was my profile picks, but yeah, I mean, I would say for everybody, going over and just kind of like, again, trying to have some fun with stuff, and
I'll have to find one for you. I don't know where it's at. I got a video of it somewhere, but I probably. Yeah, I don't know if I should show that or not. I used to love to play with the girls, dude. Like when it comes to playing with my kids, I didn't care. I'll embarrass the shit out of myself.
Yeah.
But I got this one where I got like these short khaki shorts, and I got this button-up shirt, and I pulled my shorts up to like here.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I got my hair done really dorky with some glasses, and my socks going up to my knees, and my pink lunchbox, and I called myself Rory. And so we would play school, and I was the dorky kid that came to the class, and they were my teachers and stuff. The sad thing is, because I pulled those shorts up so high, you saw these.
Oh yeah, you had your wedding tackle on.
Yeah.
And so I didn't notice that back then when I was doing it. But now I look back at it and I'm like, okay, yep. Too much grapefruits.
Yeah,
But
it showed,
it was
showed off.
fun. Dude. I used to love doing that kind of stuff with the kids, though, man.
Oh yeah.
I did.
Let's see. Here's where's that one?
Yeah, Dave. Jeff, definitely get over there to the Substack too, man. dadtalktoday.substack.com. That's what we're here for, brother. But we're also here for this, trying to help people get their minds off of it.
Have a little bit of fun and
Yep.
relax and enjoy. I had the picture and I lost it. Yeah, I always whenever actually this is dumb stuff here. Whenever wife would pull me into a purse store, which I'm a guy. What am I doing in a purse store? I'd always, of course, act goofy.
Wayne, you look too natural doing that, buddy. I'm on tell you.
The elbow just naturally went where it needed to go. I was covering my gun good. But yeah, I would. Yeah, whenever I had fun. Oh yeah, and not to say it was a one timer here.
Oh god, dude, that is one of the most awkward moments for a man when the wife's got to use the bathroom or something.
That's
Like, here, hold this purse, and I'll get it and like set it behind me or something. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing it. Like I'll watch it, but
Yeah,
no.
They would have you. Yeah, they hand it to you, and you're like, what do I do with this? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I and you're like, and you can't look manly. You cannot look manly doing it. There's just
No.
no way of doing that. But again, a lot of this is just trying to have fun. And I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff. I've shared some of the bad things I've need, but there's just so much more to life than being bad mood and I get there's a season for that, and it happens to everybody. But just finding ways to turn that around and get refocused. I will say again, Brandy's done a lot to help me with that. I mean, I was lucky enough to find a partner that we both love each other's goofiness, and she celebrates my nerdiness, and that's worked out great. But becoming who you are, I mean, at the end of the day, I am a dork. There's just no other.
I am too, dude. I got a fart app on my phone. Like my family knows. Like, oh yeah. Have you never? I actually got a fart studio. You can like mix the farts.
Okay.
Have you never heard that?
A fart mixer. Okay.
I can't believe I'm getting this.
Can't believe we're doing it.
But see, if you want to do that same fart, hold up. Let's see. Where's it? Juicy?
Ooh, that sounds wet.
But you can make it a squeaker too.
Squeaker.
Or
Okay.
you can make it rumble.
Oh no, that was a tidy whitey changer.
Yeah, look, it's a whole studio.
The whole okay.
Yeah.
Just show. Okay, well, I'm gonna get really embarrassed. Oh, well, that was like first night in prison right there.
Well, look, it's got the gas, but see, like when the kids get out somewhere and we're in the store, dude, I'll wait for that perfect moment for them to drop something, and then it's like, and they get so pissed. My wife too. At first, like I would do it because I always do it at the most inappropriate times. That's what makes it funny.
That's
Do it at the inappropriate times, and that's what we do as husbands. That's what we do as dads. Trust me, I got plenty of it from my dad when I was a kid. But my wife's already getting to the point, like she liked the goofiness too, even though it would embarrass her at times to the point she'd start putting her leg up or something when I do it just to be like, oh, it doesn't bother me.
Join in with the whole thing. Actually, that reminded me of something from when I've always loved farts my entire life. That was the one thing that could get me laughing no matter what. Were there any, and it'd be you or anyone that's on, like, did you guys? And I'll tell you mine, which again relates to farting, but it could be anything. But were there things that you guys did and girls did when you were younger, like rituals or fun little things, or when you played, or those kind of memories? Like, I mean, a non-fart thing, like y'all met at the creek. Do what?
A non-fart thing.
A non-fart thing. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and set up a fart thing, and I have the MP3 of it now. But me and my buddies, we made a fart tape, a fart audio tape. And basically, it is exactly what you're probably thinking it is. We had a boom box. Remember the old boom boxes?
Yeah.
Okay. So we had a boom box and a tape. And whenever we spend the night over each other's house, we, of course, bring the tape and the boom box. And it's basically a collection of all of us farting into the boom box and recording it. And then it would,
Sounds
yeah.
awesome.
And so this
Man.
thing is, I think,
The
like a
roots
half
we have
hour
been to
long.
on Dad Talk. We have
And
jumped
do what?
we've jumped the shark.
We've done it. So my one friend that I grew up with, he got married, and I played that for his soon-to-be wife, and the marriage still happened.
It still happened. She was
It was
okay.
touch and go, let me tell you, because he had presented himself as a more mature adult, and I decided to bring it back a little bit for him.
Dude, that is
Yeah.
the most important moment in a relationship. You can say it's the first kiss, you can say whatever. It is the first fart. Like if they stay with you after that, they get to see a little bit of what you've been hiding.
Exactly,
You know?
ladies. If you're looking for a man, you need to be okay with that, because that's like on the list. The top 3 things that we're looking for in a woman is when I have a bad burrito, I want to know that you're there for me. That's
Dude, that's what Jimmy needs to talk about on the dating show. What it's like when you got one. I don't know what it was about going on dates. Especially, I told my wife, first date we went on, it was like the second I met her. And
what
like
is
I was
that?
squeezing the whole time, dude. And
Yeah.
I was, dude, I can tell this is the most monstrous fart I've ever had in my life. And I can't get away from her. And if I move wrong, it's coming out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, God. Story time.
Apartment, dude. The second I dropped her off and cut the corner, it was monstrous, dude.
Oh,
And I
lived
was
in a
like, how in
slam.
the hell was that inside of my body? Yeah.
Funny story. So we went, Mary. We went to Vegas, and I had as a sign of respect, I wasn't going to do such a horrible thing around her. And we're in the hotel room. It was a working thing for me. I just get done working, and we're talking or whatever. And I'm like, I need to lay down, and pop my back real quick. And I laid on the ottoman, dead silent. I ripped. I don't know what the hell happened, but I just ripped, and there was no way I could like say it was something else. And so I just sat there for like 5 seconds, just not knowing what to say or do. It was essentially the first fart. And then she just busted out laughing, and then we were good from there. Thank God.
No, she laughed at it.
Oh, she was horrified.
Not to laugh at one, unless it's like really smelly.
It's yeah. But
I get offended
that
by
was
my farts, though, dude. I'm used to it now, but it would offend me in the beginning. It's like,
Would
how
offend
dare
you?
you do that? Yeah.
How dare you
Yeah,
break
I
one
was
before me?
offended
Oh, baby, I didn't know it was your turn. Sorry, a little Austin Powers there.
Dude, I got a couple of hilarious fart stories.
Okay.
We can them really quick. And you know what? You don't like it, you don't have to watch.
Yeah, no, we're actually getting more viewers now. That I think we
Yeah,
found
yeah.
our audience.
I had this one time I had to get like a filling put in my tooth. And I
Okay.
never had to wait for this dentist, dude. Usually I was in there and out 30 minutes or an hour.
Okay.
For some reason, I got there this day. God help me if he sees this, because he's going to know what I'm talking about, even though we've never discussed it. They go and put me in this room, and I'm waiting to get numbed. Dude, 2 hours go by.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
still sitting in that chair, but my stomach was boiling the whole time. And I'm like, dude, I'm waiting. Like, come get this over with, because like I got to do this. And I could tell it was going to be bad.
I got to do
2 hours. They hadn't even came in there, Mr. Carroll. Are you okay? Nothing. I hadn't even seen anybody.
Do you
And
think
it
you're
just-
safe?
Oh, dude, it just got to the point that I was finally like, I've done everything I can do. Like, I've done
Eagles.
everything I could do. I got to let it out. And I did it, and you didn't even hear it. You didn't even hear it. But I knew the second. There's something about it when you can feel it come out and it's hot and steamy. You're like, this one's going to kill you. This one's going to kill you. And it did, dude. And I swear to God, this as soon as that wind left my anus, Mr. Carroll, how are you? And I popped back and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I feel so sorry for my dentist right now. His face is about to be melted That is literally going to burn his nose hairs.
He's like,
And he stood there and didn't flinch, dude. But I knew.
oh,
I mean, you can tell, even though it's your own brand and it doesn't bother you as bad, that it's like, okay, like,
it's a burn,
Yeah.
burn
Dude,
your eye here.
I got another one, but you got anything like that?
Oh, I got a million of them. Well, I don't know about you. Is your wife summoned by farts? And I guess I'll tell the story here to kind of
I'll wait for her to get up and use the bathroom or something, and I'll have one that's real bad. The second she goes in the next room, it's like, she's, I heard that. Yeah.
Well, back in the pre, fart around each other.
Texted me the second you asked that, by the way.
Do what?
She's not watching, but it's like she knows that she's being talked about. She texted me the second you asked
Like,
that.
what's going on here?
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to be a nice gentleman. So, we're laying in bed and I'm like, oh, I gotta go, do whatever. And I'm talking to her and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. And so I leave to, go into my area, somewhere away from her, and she follows me. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's something in the garage I got to get. I'll be right back. So I go into the garage. She follows me into the garage. And I'm like, honey, I got to fart. and I swear, like, she'll leave the room and I'm like, and my stomach will be fine. And all of a sudden it'll just go crazy. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to make some noise here. And it's every time while I'm actually letting it loose, the door opens. And I'm like, are you like the fart whisperer or something? Do you just appear every time I rip one? Yeah, no, a lot of fun stories there. She didn't realize how disgusting and gross I was till later. I lured her in with my intellect and warm, winning personality, and then I, changed it around and told her I was a disgusting male that I've always been. But yeah, I lots of fun stuff with farts. I call my heterosexual life mate as my best. I know this guy for 25 years. He and I have been through so much together. We went to college together actually, and we're sitting there getting ready. And class was getting ready to let out, and right before it happened, he rips just this nasty fart and runs. And he knows my Achilles heels. I have to laugh at every fart. It's just what I do.
Yeah.
And the doors open, which then increased the smell. I'm sitting there. Everyone thought it was me. It was just on.
Aren't those the most horrible ones when people think it's yours and you didn't even do it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Horrible stuff. All right.
Crop
Your
dusters.
story. Crop dust.
Dude, I feel like we have shit the bed with this show. I mean, at this point in time, no pun
No
intended.
pun intended.
I don't know if I should share it. I actually got a couple more. One's a poop story.
Okay.
I will tell you this though. I'll defer to this. This is dad talk. I'll talk about my dad. I swear to God, my dad would hold the world's record for the world's biggest fart. Have you
Really?
heard the stories that they talk about on the documentary about Andre the Giant?
Oh yeah. As far
went fart? Dude, that was
Minute long?
6'9". No, my dad, and I've got family to back this up. Even my ex-wife, even though we don't even really want to talk, she'd back me up on this one.
Right.
My grandfather got really sick, so we had to go stay out of town one time. And this was back when we very first got married, so we didn't have much money. So my mom and dad said we could stay in the room with him. Well, not long before that, my mama came to me and my brother saying, y'all, your daddy farted the other night. And I'm telling you, I didn't think it was ever going to end. It went for minutes and minutes and minutes. And me and my brother's just sitting there laughing our ass off, dude, thinking my mom was, embellishing just a little bit. It was just like, this is ridiculous.
Right.
Well, anyway, we go to stay with my dad this night. And my mom and dad in that hotel room, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, dude. I get woke up in the middle of my sleep, and all I could hear is, and I sat there for about 30 seconds just on my pillow, and I look up and look at the clock and see it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I stay there for about another minute, and it's just going off. I thought it was the fire alarm at first. Because all you could hear was no break. And then about that time, my ex-wife, she starts waking up. And then me and her sitting there looking at each other, going, what in the world is that? And then she looks at me, she's like, is that your dad farting? Dude, just keeps going. At least 2 to 3 minutes, dude. At least. I don't know how the man had the air in his stomach like that. And then when he's done, it goes dead silent for about 20 or 30 seconds. You hear nothing.
Right.
And then finally you hear my dad laughing over there. And I went to my mom the next day. I was like, I thought you were totally full of crap. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought you were lying, even though I've never known you to lie. But you can't even put that fart into words, Dwayne. That would have made the record book by far. I'm not saying that's because my dad. I mean, he was one of the world's greatest fathers and one of the world's greatest farters. Absolutely.
Right. Perfect. Actually, I see Jimmy's on. Sounds like the one after Taco Tuesday.
Jimmy Smith. There you go.
Got Mr.
So, Jimmy, you should talk about the protein fart some more. Those are real. Those are real, dude. Once you got me on that diet and I was eating all that damn protein and sugar alcohols and stuff, man, that's deadly. That's deadly.
Yeah, I know. When you change your diet over,
I mean, it's hard. You know, you talk about like living in your dad's shadows. Like, I've got fart stories. That one's hard to top, dude. Like, I've never had one that can equal up to that in size. But I did have one day after work. I'm grocery shopping, and it hit me. And I could tell. You can tell when your stomach's boiling. It's like that one's going to be the wet one. The steaming. It's going to kill you. It's nuclear. It is nuclear. And I'm standing in this aisle when it was like it started up here and said, and it was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And there's this mom and her little son standing right beside me, and I'm like, dude, I'm all the way on the other side.
You gotta go.
I'm like, I'm going to the frozen section. And I walked over because it was coming. I went over there by the frozen section, sat there, looked, made sure nobody was around, and it came out. I'll be damned, dude. 10 seconds later, here comes that mom and that kid.
Oh,
you know, mom could be quiet about it, but I started to walk off, and I heard the boy go, ooh. He was like, Mom, what is that smell? They had to know it was me, dude. They had to, but that kid started screaming. So what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the ways for the internet, for the younger folk. That's how we used to have fun back in the days before the internet. Yeah, you ever go to a grocery stores, whatever, you fart in one aisle, you run to the next one, you wait for them to come through. It's the best.
God made farts for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that takes themselves so serious that you can't laugh at a fart, God bless you, man. Your life must suck. Nobody likes to smell them, but we all laugh at them.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's nature's comedy. I mean, that's just the best stuff in the world. Oh boy, Jimmy is.
Oh, here comes the
all math. Yeah, he's getting all math.
Farts are measured by decibels times back pressure times length of time times proper timing. It does, dude, because you got to wait for that one moment. I almost went through a breakup over a fart.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It went as serious. I mean, but it got pretty bad. There was a very bad argument over it. Where I live, very in the country. So like the nearest restaurant is going to be like 30 minutes away. And I don't know what it is about them old school wooden benches that just make them echo, that bounce off. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Dairy Queen on Sunday, when churches would let out, that was the place that everybody went because we didn't have many places. This place, probably 100 people in there.
Right.
And I thought it would be funny while I was on a date with the ex-wife. I was on the wooden bench, and it was the timing, Jimmy. It was the timing. I knew it had built up, but it really messed up because not only did it come and bounce off the wood, it was also near the wall. So it bounced off of both. It was the loudest fart I ever heard in my life. And everybody stops and looks. And I'm not going to lie, this was pretty shitty of me. I was so embarrassed. I was a teenager that when everybody looked, I pointed at her.
Dude, she puts her hands down, and she had some tears in her eyes. She didn't actually start crying, but it was one of those instantly, like trying to get the pressure off of me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was a hellion, dude. I was a hellion. I didn't even own it, and it was a perfect one to own. I'm owning it all these years later.
Yeah.
The Dairy
Yeah.
Queen.
Well,
It was
you were
me.
young. Young and immature. You hadn't come into your own yet. Now you can years later do that. Lauren here, there's no way I could argue over a fart. I would be hysterically laughing. Yeah, I mean, I've ended arguments that way. You know, wife and I have a little tiff back and forth. I rip one, argument's over.
And it's all over.
Yeah, it's all over. We're just laughing and giggling. It's just all fun. Or, you know, just tells me I'm gross. We move on.
Where the old man farts, and the grandma's like, "Who that calling my name?"
Oh God!
I'll stick this between the crack of your ass. Duddy Professor, you want your colon cleanse? Hercules.
Hercules,
My baby,
Hercules,
my
Hercules. I mean, yeah, those type of things, and having friends, family, whatever, to where you can be and do those things. You can't put a price tag on that. That's just some of the best stuff in the world.
Dude, this is so funny. Like the podcast on my phone versus watching it on the screen has like a 10-second delay. So I look over and both me and you are doing Hercules at the same time. You know what, guys? I needed to laugh. So that was a good episode. I'm about to have to be on a call in like 10 minutes.
Oh, geez.
Get near the end.
Well, for more marriage and relationship advice, keep tuning in. He said fart to save your marriage. Hey, you know what?
Who said that?
No, I was saying someone's
fart
saying
to save
marriage
your marriage.
counseling. Yeah, fart and save your marriage. That could be it. It's been fun. Well, again, we know a little hiatus there for a bit. Got some things out, fresh mind, fresh perspective. Let's talk about farts.
Didn't smell fresh.
Did not smell fresh.
Not smell. Dude, check out the fart app. I should get them to like sponsor Dad Talk.
That would be.
I've got a couple. One time, I think it was like trying to keep up with my messages and stuff. As you can see, my text messages like 1,414.
Oh, jeez.
And it just gets to a point. It's like I can't even look at them. I was showing that on there in my fart studio and my fart app and everything. That was like, what's that app on your phone? I was like, oh, this is my first time admitting it.
A fart app. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
Sabrina said the name of this VOD is Farts on Demand, or Old Farts Talking About Good Farts. Oh, the so what now? What's the app called?
The Fart Studio.
Fart Studio. Okay, it's easy to remember. Fart Studio. All right. Wow, might have to get that because it'll be fun to prank the kids and strangers. Hilarious. What I'd love to do at some point, and there's technically I can do this, but on a show is I've built the software soundboard, but have it where it goes out to all the viewers, and they can actually send in sounds and do stuff on the show, so they can interact with the show like that. I got to figure out technically how to do those pieces, but it'd be kind of fun. So maybe have Lauren or Sabrina or Jimmy or whomever push the fart button. I don't know if Jimmy, if you're still on, it's gonna be a very hard act to follow for tomorrow's show. Trying to think, do we have the what Jimmy's gonna be talking about tomorrow?
I don't even know, dude. That last one went for a long time. Did you hear that? I didn't think it was ever going to end. It's called Wind Tunnel.
Wind Tunnel. Oh God! Well, you
Jimmy's
know what?
gonna have to step up his game.
Yeah, I'd say, guys, instead of paying for therapy, that Fart App Studio is like probably $1 or $2 or whatever. On that, right there is your therapy. That is it right there.
Okay, I'm having too much fun.
Way too much.
I'm having too much fun.
So tomorrow, what was it, 9 Central.
Yeah,
Jimmy
I might
Smith.
join you and Jimmy in the morning.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll see.
We'll see what we can devolve the conversation down to, you know. Yeah, we
I'll
had
start
him and
in between Jimmy talking. Let's see if he can keep a straight face.
yeah, you're going to be put through the test now, Jimmy, where you have to, you know, keep a straight face and be on point, be in your frame while, you know, he's dropping fart bombs on you. But
That's true. Jimmy said, and think someone somewhere had to go into the studio and record these fart noises. I mean, it's very true. I mean, that was a lot of hard work and dedication in order to make you guys laugh.
yeah,
That's all I got.
just think you got like, yeah, maybe you could a side gig. You could be a fart studio fart creator, a little side hustle. I don't know, might be an idea. Oh god, too much fun. But I do want to trying to think. Actually, I want to pull up what tomorrow's episode is, so folks can get ready. Set it on your phone for 9 a.m. Central. To log in. We've lost Eric. He's found his therapy. Oh, what is tomorrow's? Let's see. What do these people say they do when someone asks them what do you do for a living? Yeah, I'm a fart professional. Actually, there was that Lay Beau is a French guy. He actually performed a fart show for kings and queens and stuff back, I think, in the 1900s. It was actually an honorable profession. So, yeah.
I gotta give respect to you. You kept a straight face the whole time. I done went through like 10 farts.
I'm just like, the show must go on. The show must go on.
Some
That
of
one
them don't
sounds
sound realistic. But the fact that you can remix it, like up here is loud, up here is rumble, over here is squeaker, and there's one that says quiet.
Oh, you can kind of like, yeah, make
You
your
can
own.
mix
So-
farts to people.
Oh, see that's worth it right
When
there.
they open it up, all it is a fart. Every one of my family's got one.
You know, when I send stuff to my wife throughout the day while she's in meetings, so I might have to get that app and text her that one. Does it autoplay, or do you have to push the play button?
They have to push it, but it'll say that they have a delivery, and when they open it, it's a surprise fart. You know, just say, hey, like, you know, I tried to give you a laugh for the day.
Oh God, that's an ad. It's a must-have app. Yeah, I need to get maybe have them sponsor the show or something.
Dude, if the world could have some more of that and not take themselves so serious.
I'm looking at Atari 2600 game, waiting for Space Invaders to start.
It's the
There you go.
headphones. And they're newer headphones. I haven't had no crinkles in it. It just does it randomly. Randomly.
Weird.
It was getting jealous of the fart app.
That was, yeah. It's like, hey, pay attention to me. Oh, geez. All right. So tomorrow, 9 a.m., Jimmy Smith, Eric, myself will be on, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the episode will be about. I had a really good one last week. Had Jimmy's friend and had some good banter back and forth between the two of them. All good natured, and had a lot of fun, a lot of good information. Yeah, I think everybody had a good time. A lot of people were really tuning in to his show, getting education, entertainment, and getting plans and taking next steps and exercising. 10 ways to appear more attractive.
You don't think that last 10 minutes, Jimmy, was the way to do it?
Put that in your profile. Yeah. 10 ways
Daniel,
to
I ain't
appear
worried
more
about that, dude. I understand. Like there's people that aren't going to understand what we're doing right here, but it's fun, dude. Sometimes this is for us just as much as it is everybody else, or even more.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh.
I give a crap less. Literally.
No pun intended.
No.
Literally.
All right. I do got to get on this call though, brother.
All right, everybody. Dad Talk today. Support all that fun stuff. Reach out. Smart Stacks. Wait, no, what is it called? Substack. Smart Stack. Substack. Like, share. Yeah, be sure to share the last 10, 15 minutes of this episode with all your friends and family. So let them know. I mean, hey, it'll be fun. We all have fun here. All right.
Oh, I can see somebody taking that so serious. How dare they?
Yeah. Yeah. There's always going to be that guy out there.
Don't make me pull out my app again. All right.
All right.
See you.
See y'all later.